I have my screen set up slightly different today so I can see a little better on what's on the actual stream going out, and it's kind of fucking with me.
So it's right next to your face?
No. It's just bigger because normally I put it in like a quarter of the screen, and today it's a full half of the screen, so I had to move everything else around, and I don't know if I like it.
You should just get a bigger monitor.
I'd have to get a bigger desk to accommodate it.
All right, so Monkey needs a new desk, a new monitor, and I need to pay my car insurance.
And the Enterprise D Lego set. But before we get into all that stuff, guys, welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, Ranting Monkey. He is Jack. Jack, say hello, my friend.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how the hell you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
You know what? I'm just going to be honest. I'm a little bit annoyed because I watched the Thursday night football game tonight. And it was the Raiders versus the Broncos, who are both in my Chargers division. The Broncos are up by one game in the division over the Chargers, so I needed the Raiders to win. And, of course, they lost because they are one of the worst teams in football.
Yeah.
Denver, on paper at least, one of the best teams in football. And this was this was like watching fucking soccer, man. It was boring as shit. So instead of doing the show earlier, I watched really bad football and still didn't get the outcome I wanted.
So that's an unsatisfying result, waste of time. Yeah, it sounds like soccer. Yeah. Wow.
What was the score? The final score was 10-7, I believe. Maybe Denver scored at the end and I missed it because I'm gonna be honest, I stopped paying attention with like 5 minutes left. But yeah, it was 10-7, and it's the game was much closer than that score makes you. The Broncos did not score a first down until 5 minutes into the second quarter. There were at halftime, there were more penalties in the game than total first downs. That's how bad this game was.
That sounds pretty fucking bad.
It was really bad. Anyway, we're not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about stupid shit going on in the world that's pissing me off.
Football. Yeah.
Or Tucker on Megyn Kelly, which I only saw a very little clip of, and I don't know how much of it we're going to watch. But we are going to tune into that in a little while because, doggy. The one little part that I did see, Tucker's a salty little bitch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We'll get to that when we get to it. But we have other things to talk about first. Let's first talk about how bad the Republicans are, Jack. We don't give them enough shit around here. Why won't this stop?
The shiftless layabout Republican Party that just whines about never getting anything they want and then not trying to get anything they want and purposely losing all the time. You mean those Republicans?
Well, this is an article from The Hill, and it's titled Fox Anchor on Democrats' Election Day Domination. Prices are too high.
Oh, the rent is too damn high, Monkey.
Where are we? Fox News anchor Martha McCallum pointed to the cost of living and concerns about the economy as the driving factors that propelled Democrats to sweeping victories in Tuesday night's elections. All right. The Democrats didn't have sweeping victories. They had expected victories in Democrat strongholds.
What?
The closest you can get to saying that they actually won something that they might not should have is in Virginia, where Spanberger was expected to win anyway. I think the Republicans handled that very badly in Virginia, and Trump didn't do anything to help Earl Sears out there. The Republican Congressional Committee didn't do anything really Governor's Committee didn't help to do anything until the very end. They were basically giving away that governorship.
Then they can say they helped, but that they,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
For the record, about 10 minutes before we went live, it started raining here. So just so you guys are aware, my shitty internet might be worse than normal tonight. This idea of affordability, which just basically means inflation, that prices are too high, and that there's a
That's
real
crazy
sensitivity spot on for people, is, I think, something that Republicans do need to look carefully at, McCallum said. Okay. This is what Republicans always do. If they freak out over Tuesday's elections, you're morons. You're morons. Communism worked in communist strongholds. This would be like being absolutely blown away that Lenin was made the leader of the Soviet Union when it first started. I mean, he was one of the driving forces behind it. You'd be an idiot to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. What Republicans should be doing is going out there and pointing out all of you are being lied to about how horrible the economy is. It is way better than it's been for the last 4 years. But prices are going up. Yeah, at the normal 3-ish% inflation, which is where it normally is. It's just on top of all the shit that happened under Biden. And the only way to fix that is with increased wages, which if you do too quickly, is going to cause inflation. But they're doing what they always do. Instead of fighting their fight, they are letting the Democrats decide what the talking points are. Every fucking time.
Yeah, they don't want to win. They're the purposeful underachievers. They're lazy.
They're so afraid of leading. They're so afraid of being like, no, we're not talking about that right now. Here are the problems we're dealing with. Here's the stuff we're fixing. Here's our plan. They always let the Democrats and the media control the narrative. This is why the media hates Trump so much, because Trump doesn't play this game. Trump is like, no, what we need to talk about is this. And that's why they've lost to him 3 times in a row. Whoops, I meant 2, YouTube. My bad. I didn't mean to go Kathy Griffin there and question election results. My bad. But I saw this article, and yeah, just they're oh my God, they're sweeping victory. They won in New York, and even for as well as the commies did out there in Minneapolis, the lesser of the 2 commie evils won. Nobody's talking about that, about how Frey won. Or Fry. How do you say his name? I don't remember.
I think it's Fry.
Decca, thank you so much. From what I've heard, a lot of donor class are basically being obstructionists and saboteurs. There's a lot of infighting going on in the Republican Party now. Weirdly enough, because of people like Nick Fuentes. There's a battle for control of the narrative after Kirk's death, which is kind of weird because Kirk wasn't that important to the narrative. He had a couple million followers, and that's big. I'm not taking anything away from that, but it's not like he was setting the policy or the policy positions. But you have this power vacuum that's happening because of that, and you have folks like Tucker Carlson pumping up idiots like Nick Fuentes. So
yeah,
why is Nick a thing? That's a great question. It really is, and I wish I had a good answer for you, but the reality is I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is a guy who was hanging out with a pedophile. And we're not talking about Epstein. We're talking about a dude who actually is a pedophile. There's a video of him that just resurfaced. I saw you retweeted it, Jack.
Yep.
Him talking about how he saw underage pictures from that pedophile. I do not understand how Nick Fuentes is still a thing. And
He's being set up to discredit any right-wing movements.
yeah, he's not conservative. If you watched his interview with Tucker Carlson, he makes that very clear. He's not for Republicans or conservative values or anything like that. I'm just gonna say it. If he's not getting paid by some Islamist institute, he is missing an opportunity. There's enough Jew skepticism and outright Jew hate in all parties, both parties, Jack, the main parties, that the stupid shit that Fuentes says, they're like, hey, I hate what he says, but he's got a point on this part. So yeah. Nick is a thing because someone forgot to swallow. Hey, imagine being his mom and having that bitter pill in your mouth. I don't blame her for vomiting and it ending up in her vagina. It's, natural. I'm just saying. Went a little gross on that one. I apologize.
No, don't.
Mark, thank you so much. How come Tucker never took a photo op with that Vladimir Putin? What do you mean a photo op? I mean, they were together on set. How much more of a photo op do you need? Do you mean like the two of them smiling together after the interview? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there's that one. Now, this one I want to talk about because I'm genuinely curious. I was reading an article about how, because Trump came out and said prices are down, and of course, the usual suspects were like, no, they're not. Energy prices are exactly where they were. And this confused me. Because I don't go out all that often. So when I started going shopping with my wife on a regular basis, I had sticker shock because I didn't go out during COVID and much of the years afterwards. And it's only been about like the last 6 months that I try to go shopping with my wife every week. And we get the total at the end of our grocery shop, and I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, it's been this way for a while, honey. I'm like, I believe you. It's just still shocking. But the other shock I got recently is we've been traveling around, going to different things, and gas prices up here are down. According to AAA, this is what's on the screen here, gas prices are basically at the same place they were in January. And the average national cost is $3.08. I haven't seen any gas prices from here down to Lansing, over to Mount Pleasant, down to Grand Rapids. I have not seen a gas price within the last 2 or 3 months higher than $2.80. So it came as a huge shock to me to see this and see that the national average is almost 10% higher than that. So I asked on Twitter, like, what are you guys paying? And I'm going to ask you guys in the audience, what are you guys paying? Because ours is way down. But somebody who says they were down by Kalamazoo said they're paying $3.25, which is not that far from Grand Rapids. And if you live in Kalamazoo, I recommend a jaunt up to Grand Rapids because you'll probably save money going up there to get gas. I mean, it's 40 cents cheaper. But then somebody told me in Southern California they're paying $4.50 for gas.
That's probably down too.
$4.50 for gas? Why the fuck do you live there?
Because they can't afford to move out, probably. The gas would cost too much.
And what I'm learning, let's see, 236 in Northeast Arkansas. Bubba says between 275 and 310. Pennsylvania 340, New Jersey 310, 250 to 260, 280 in my area. I do wonder how much of this, how low the average price would be without the California/New York costs. You know what I mean? Because if Southern California is up at 450, that is skewing the data a little bit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, when I got gas on Tuesday or on Wednesday, I paid $2.99, and then I was out at the dump today coming back and had to pay $3.15 for gas.
Damn. Yeah.
So, but it is a holiday weekend too, so numbers are going to go up because Veterans Day is on Tuesday.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're coming into a time where prices are expected to go back up because it is the holiday season.
Yeah.
They spike in summertime, but if you look at this graph, I mean, they didn't even really spike this summer. They've remained ridiculously steady. So, I don't know. It just shocked me that they weren't going down everywhere because I live in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. We actually live for this side of the state at one of the more expensive places to get gas just for the delivery cost. If we go 20 miles south, we end up paying 10 cents less a gallon.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So it was kind of shocking to me to see that there's still places across the country where you guys are paying way too much for gas.
Well, you got to remember that California and places like that rely on that extra tax dollars from the gas to subsidize all their stupid nonsense that they pass. Yeah.
All right. We got to have an economy lesson because I saw some people I would consider conservative who were freaking out about this video we're about to watch and how outrageous it was.
And then I make the mistake of going in to check what my student loan balance is.
Now and then I make the mistake of going to see, you should be checking that monthly, sweetie.
Nah, let it go.
And every time I am shook and I'm disappointed and I'm heartbroken just looking at the numbers. But it's fucking insane.
Have you seen this?
No.
Guess how much student debt she has?
50,000.
Try again. Higher.
180,000.
Lower. She doesn't
100,000.
She doesn't give us an exact price, but at least $100,000 in student loan debt.
Huh.
If you're not a doctor, lady, you have no reason. Oh, Pumpkin Trucker, thank you so much for the Ranting Monkey Star Trek Toy Fund. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they're not going to fund your desk or monitor, but the toy, hell yeah. I support that.
For the record, don't donate to that fund because I'm just going to be real honest with you. I love the Enterprise D is my favorite Enterprise. I love that toy, but I have like the Friends Central Perk Lego toy. Yes, I do. And it's in a box right now, all put together, but hidden away because I have nowhere to display it. If I get a Lego set right now, I'm more inclined to get like a Disney princess castle because then I know the girls would play with it when they're here and it would actually get some use and not just end up in a box somewhere. So I appreciate the donation.
Think you're burying the lead. First of all, yeah, but if you had a bigger desk, you could display this stuff. And I think you buried the lead there. You said that you love the D.
Sorry, swallowing. What a great segue there. I'm not ashamed of loving the Enterprise D. People have tried to make that joke before.
Yeah,
thank you, Pumpkin, who said. Thank you, Pumpkin, who says for the Monkey Loves the D Fund. Yeah, this is a true story. My wife asked me the other day if I'd be embarrassed to do something in public. So she's been losing weight, Jack, and she is killing it. And she saw this lady on TikTok who lost a bunch of weight, and she went to Walmart. The lady went to Walmart and held up 5-10 pound bags of potatoes to represent how much weight she lost. And Lady Monkey asked me if I would be willing to take a picture of her doing the same if she hits 50 pounds. And she goes, or would you be too embarrassed by that? I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? When have you known me to be embarrassed about anything I do? Like, come on, sweetie. Come on. Yeah, I don't get embarrassed that easy. What was I saying? Doing the conversation about $5.90. You're paying $5.90 USD for gas down in Australia? Wow.
That sounds right. No, that's probably about on point because remember their currency is usually about twice what ours is. So yeah, that sounds like that's not that far off. That's about $3
Evolved.
American.
Evolved. I look. I hate to go against my own country here and stuff, but have you guys considered calling the Russians? They're having a fire sale up there, and you guys are pretty close,
Right? Well, their government loves to screw them over, so usually
Fair
they
enough.
end up paying a lot more than we do.
Right? Hey,
I
those
don't know. Yeah,
those Abo
there's
benefits aren't going to pay for themselves, man.
exactly. Everything in Australia is ridiculously overpriced. I mean, their housing, their gas. I bet they're paying exorbitant amounts for fast food too. But there's probably oil buried out in the outback, and it's going to look all Mad Max in about 10 years.
Dude, it's $9.50 here. God bless, man.
Holy shit. Are you in the UK? Because that would. Wow. Real fast. Thank you, Frank. When I first moved to PA from New Jersey, oh, you escaped. Nice. I was amazed gas is always slightly higher here. In New Jersey, wages are paid to the gas attendants, so you would assume it would be more expensive. But PA put so many taxes on it that even when you're pumping your own gas, New Jersey's cheaper. Yeah, that's sad. I also find it really weird that New Jersey still has gas attendants because I don't trust those guys. They always look like they're going to stab me.
Thank you so much, Assassin of the Gray. Half this goes to the Monitor Fund instead of that bloated whale masquerading as a starship. Other half to the bacon double cheeseburger for Galactus Jag. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, bacon double cheeseburger sounds great right now.
Did you see the Enterprise toy? The Lego
No,
Enterprise?
I haven't.
Dude, the saucer section even separates.
And that's the next generation Enterprise, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. The saucer section separates, and there's a little shuttle bay that comes off that a little shuttle sits in. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
It not only comes with the entire cast, but it comes with Spot, Data's cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's also $400.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the toys that Playmobil's been putting out?
Oh, yeah. They've done some great ones. They
have one that's like $300, but it's got the bridge. It's got an engineering bay. I've got their Knight Rider kit and A-Team van that I'm going to do for the unboxing channel.
Oh, nice.
And oh my God, they are really, really cool. They have a ton of licensed stuff. They got Star Trek, Ghostbusters. They had some Harry Potter shit for a long time, and they got Star Trek. They have really nice toys. And Playmobil used to be kind of a joke.
They are the ones who did the World of Warcraft ones too, if I remember correctly. Anyway, back to our finance, or what was it, economic teaching session here.
I pay almost $900 towards my student loans, my Parent Plus student loans, every month. And I was just doing the math, like comparing the principal amount with.
I just also want to say you don't look old enough to have spent $100,000 on college, lady. You should have a PhD at the end of $100,000 education. And you look like you're 24. Am I wrong on that? I mean, the average college debt in the United States, do you know what it is? It's $40,000. And you spent 2.5 times that. What fucking degree do you have?
Amateurs.
That's a rough 24. What are you talking about?
Interest and like the amount of money I've paid I looked at what the balance was that I guess the last time I checked was in January actually. So the balance was like still over 100K. But then when I did the math for the balance now, the only difference is like almost $1,400. So I've only brought down the total by $1,400, even though I have been paying almost $1,000 every month. And
You have a $100,000 college degree and you don't understand how loans work? All right. For you youngins out there, or anybody who's thinking about, like getting a house, for example, this is how loans work. Especially if she has a $100,000 loan and she's paying $900 a month, she's only paying the minimums. She's not throwing extra at that debt. When you first start paying down your loan, the majority of what you're going to be paying is interest, and it slowly switches to where you're paying more principal as you get near the end of the loan. This is how all fucking loans work. And I saw so many people, conservative folks, one with Wall Street in their goddamn name, going, I can't believe this is happening. The government needs to do something. This is how loans work. Because interest is paid.
This is the government doing something.
Yeah, it's just the way the system it runs. When you make, if you only have like a $5,000 loan, maybe you don't notice it as much. Maybe you don't pay attention to it as much. But when you pay off a loan, the majority of what you're paying for the first half of it is all interest. You're paying such a little part on the principal. And they do that so that you don't rack up more interest than you're paying off. I know it seems counterproductive. I know it seems very expensive. And I'm one of those people who's like looked at my house loan and been like, by the time I'm done paying this off, I will have paid more than double what the price was, even though the APR was only, I think ours was like 5% for our house loan. Well, you're not just paying 5% on $100,000. Therefore, you have to pay back $105,000. The interest is an ongoing thing. And as long as you have the loan, you pay the interest on what you owe. I'm getting to the point now that I think we need to let the Asians just take over our schools and teach people math from the very beginning.
All right, round eye dummy. You do math now.
We need tiger moms in charge of our schools, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And this will piss some people off, but tiger moms and Jewish moms, the ones that are going to make sure you know how to fucking do math.
They're going to make sure you know how to do everything. Hey, real quick, though. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. The sausage section separates. Motherfucker, it's Lego. The whole thing separates and into about 400 pieces. He does have a really good point there.
It separates on purpose. It's actually made to slide off.
You don't have to. It's made to kind of pop off. Then it would be, a Lego.
It's not made to disconnect because you took Legos apart. It slides off like awesome. I'm just saying.
I don't know about this. This sounds like some kind of Lego scam.
It's $400 for the Enterprise D. It is a Lego scam. Legos are a scam. Have you seen how fucking expensive Legos are?
Yeah, you got me there. That's a legitimate point.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my god, they're ridiculous. These fancy sets. Oh, it's insane.
Not even the fancy sets. Even smaller sets are fucking expensive. I don't know what they're making Lego out of these days. They've always been that way. Not like this, man. I remember when I was 16, I bought a Lego pirate ship. It was a nice set, and it cost me $24.
Yeah, but these are licensed items. The licensed stuff's always been way more expensive.
Should not be that much more expensive. Anyway,
Oh,
I just
agree.
wanted to highlight this lady and give guys, if you're going to get a loan, just understand that you should be trying to pay more than the minimum if you can. Make sure you tell them you want it to go directly to principal so they don't apply it to your next payment. And that'll help bring it down faster. But if you're just making your minimum payments, go watch not Justin Hammer. Damn it, every time. Go watch Caleb Hammer and just watch when he tells these people how much it's going to cost them if they only make minimum payments to pay off each of their debts, whether it's their credit card, their home, their cars, whatever it is. The one lady had a $5,000 loan, and if she just, it was actually on a credit card. But if she just made minimum payments, it was going to take her 11 years to pay off.
Yeah.
We can't be this stupid. We can't be this dumb. I did not mean to stop sharing that. I meant to switch back to our kitty cat or our doggy. We have a doggo on today for the second day in a row because nobody sent me kitty cat pictures today. And the dog people are getting a little uppity and like, look, I have dog pictures. Yeah, but look at the cutie. All right. Let's move along to Tucker and Megyn Kelly. Again, I have not watched much of this. I've seen one little clip of it. And that was followed. I was watching Asmund. Oh shit, I just closed the doggy. Oh well, so we're stuck on this for the rest of the show. I was watching Asmongold and he watched a little clip from this, and then he watched a clip from Eric and what's Trump's daughter's name? I think it was his daughter. Anyway, they were being questioned by some people. And this dude stands up and he's like, how come your dad took Jew money? Barely paraphrasing. And Asmund's like, man, I mean, people are starting to ask the questions. It's seeping in. This is where we're headed. Stay. Hassan, you're not smart enough for the rest. This is why I always laugh when Asmund owns Hassan, because Asmund's a retard. He is. He's in the scale of the political world, he's like a toddler, knocking shit over, not realizing where he is. Frank, thank you. I can't send you DMs. Why not? Am I not? Remember, if I'm not following you and you want to send me a DM, just hit me up on a message or a tweet, and I'll follow you back. Anyway, so Tucker goes on with Megyn. Megyn's doing a live thing in New York. She's doing a live show for some reason. I haven't watched Megyn in months. And I'll tell you why, Jack. It's not because I don't like Megyn Kelly anymore, because I actually still do like her. But most of her guests are boring as shit. And she brings on the same rotation of uninteresting guests over and over again.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I would rather her just give the news than her bring on people, because most of the people she brings on are annoying and not interesting.
Yeah.
All right. But so Megyn has Tucker on, and I do know that they talk a little bit about Nick Fuentes. And well, here we go. He had just sat down and said he was happy to be there. Take it away, Tuck.
I turned off my phone.
Yeah.
I have Nazi Week about once a year
Have you
for like 30 years, and now I'm just like, I can't do.
you have any big interviews lately? How's everything going?
I literally went on a hunting trip, and my wife had put Starlink in our hunting camp, which I was totally opposed to, but there was a sense that like I needed to be in touch. And my phone went off. We're like on the Canadian border and hunting with my college roommates, and all of a sudden I check my phone, is you have 400 texts, and they're like, Nazi! And I was like, oh, turning this off.
I'm guessing this is because of the Fuentes thing.
Probably.
Yeah. This is going to be tough to get through, isn't it?
Yes.
I still haven't replied yet.
Unsubscribe.
No, I've been through this before.
Yes, of course you have. I mean, everybody has. As I was, just recounting, I was a racist in literally every newspaper in the country. It's like, this is what they say.
In fairness, you asked why blackface was wrong. Don't make me defend the media. No, she was wrongly portrayed for that one. But in that same respect, Megan, you got the media all kissing your ass over the question you asked Trump about being mean to women. I still don't like that she asked that question, not because Trump isn't mean to women, but Trump is mean to everybody. And even as a Fox News host, she played into that stupid nonsense that if you ever insult a woman, you must hate women.
Yeah.
And we get that around here because we are critical of women around here. But we're also highly critical of tons of men. But goddamn, if you ever question a woman.
No, that doesn't matter. It's just the women that matter, Monkey.
Yep.
Men don't matter.
Worst possible place to paint anything you do as an attempt, I think, to delegitimize you. Yeah. So,
all right, before we get them into talking about what happened, Tucker agreed with Nick Fuentes that we need a feudalist system. Now, I don't think that's right to call him a Nazi for that, but I think it's absolutely right to go, you're a fucking retard. I don't care what the rest of the media is saying, Megyn. He said that his preferred system is a feudalist system. She was one of the first to ruin Alex Jones over Sandy Hook. I'll take your word for that. I'm not aware of her involvement in that, but that doesn't shock me.
Let's talk about it.
And for the record, I still like Megyn Kelly. She's done stuff I don't like over the years, but I still like her in general. I just have a feeling that this is going to be a puff piece instead of actually holding Tucker's feet to the fire for doing stupid shit like saying feudalism is the way we should go. For the record, feudalism would make most of you out there slaves. I'm sorry, serfs.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I use the correct language for what slavery is in a feudalist system. Serfdom. Go ahead.
Yeah. But you got to remember that Tucker's from a very well-to-do family. Mm-hmm. So, of course, he wants to be part of the nobility class.
Right? Comes from a decently wealthy family married into a ridiculously wealthy family. But don't worry, man. How dare you suggest that even though he had a reported contract of $20 million a year that Fox still had to pay out after they fired him, how dare you suggest he's worth $50 million?
Yeah.
Tuck, if you ain't worth $50 million, you need to get a Jewish financial planner. I realize that probably goes against your current state of being, but, even Hitler had the Jews doing his math for him. All right.
Why Nick Fuentes?
I interviewed Fuentes. Well, I should just give the publicly available information on this, which is that I was in an extremely personal and bitter war with Fuentes like 3 weeks ago. It mostly wasn't public, but Fuentes was attacking my father, a subject I have like literally no sense of humor. My father passed in March, and was really kind of the patriarch, not kind of.
I'm interested to see where this is going because I'm curious how you get from he was insulting my dad to I needed to talk to him. He was insulting my dead dad who just died a few months ago. I'm going to have to finally sit down and finish watching that whole thing. Do you think he brought that up to Fuentes when they were talking?
Probably not.
Probably not. The Nazis burned Jewish science book. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. They kept the Jewish bookkeepers around for quite a while. Anyway,
he was the patriarch in our family and a hero to every person in our family. And, some of what Fuentes was saying about my dad was, true, okay, which made it worse. But I was just so offended by that. I couldn't deal with it. And my son and my wife. So, I was really mad at Fuentes. And then I did an interview and just I was so mad it popped out and I attacked Nick Fuentes. In this interview, this was last month, I think, ish. And then I got all these calls from people saying, do you know anything about, I don't know anything really about Nick Fuentes, other than he's attacking my dad, my wife, and my son. And it was actually, Nick Fuentes is the single most influential commentator among young men.
On what metric? On what metric? I is Cozy even still around anymore? Young bots. I'd give you that.
Yeah, I think so.
Fuentes, they're going to make this happen. They're going to will it into existence that this guy means something. He's the single most influential creator among young men. Which young men? Because
homosexual young men.
Yeah, closeted homos. Sure. All right.
Period.
He's got 5 million subscribers on Rumble.
It's bonkers. And I didn't know any of it. I mean, I'm 56.
Fuentes was allowed on Rumble?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He's on Rumble.
So I'll just state the obvious,
He's not our demo.
My oldest child is 31, much older than Nick Fuentes. So I kind of missed a lot of this stuff. I pride myself on not missing things. I totally missed that. Really. And then it turns out that, he has no advertisers. They've been trying to cancel him since freshman year in college. Ben Shapiro.
For reasons. You can't just drop that they tried canceling him because there's so many people who have been canceled over nothing. All right, whatever.
Actually tried to shut him down freshman year in college, and it didn't work. In fact, it had the opposite effect. So I was like,
I feel like I'm in Bizarro World. I really do. I feel like there's that the world I live in just ceased to exist listening to this nonsense. Hang on, I'm just looking something up. Nick Fuentes. He's got several videos recently over here on this Rumble where he's got 5 million, Jack, followers. 1.3 thousand, 700, 500, 6,000, 3,000, 3,000. Damn. He's got 5 million followers, but 5 million of them aren't watching him.
Well, look, Russian bots can't watch everything at once, monkey. They're busy following the Chinese bots, which are following Nick Fuentes, too.
Bullwinkle, thank you so much. Who says, I sub people I do not agree with. Oh, so do I all the time. It's always funny to me because I try to catch Hassan at least once a day right after he tweets and just say something nonsensical, just mean. I'm a dick. I make no excuses for it. But lately, his fans are like, oh, you posted this as soon as he posted. You're clearly watching his show. Like, because I responded on Twitter? What? Yeah, I'm just tuning in, giving him them views. But yeah, see, this is, I'm glad I went and looked up his actual numbers over there on Rumble. His best show had 6,000 viewers on it. All of his other ones, we're kicking his ass on YouTube right now. And this notion he's got 5 million followers. Yeah, how many of those are real? Because literally 5 million of them aren't watching him. That's when you the best you can do is 6,000 views and you have 5 million followers, you are not the most influential anything. Those are like boogie numbers, for fuck's sake.
Ooh.
All right. Keep telling me about how great this guy is, Tuck.
And so I talked to a million people I know. Like, maybe I should interview Nick Fuentes to hear what is this actually?
How come you didn't interview Aiden Ross? I don't like that booger picking retard, but this is a man who had Trump on because Trump's son watched him. You didn't have Aiden on. And Aiden actually does get viewers, much to my dismay.
Look, you have to understand that there is a certain amount of selection here because they want to pick somebody that is a laughable retard that they can prop up as the voice of people they don't like. In this case, Fuentes says all the stupidest shit that right wingers, on the extremes would say, theoretically anyway. I think Tucker is some sort of controlled opposition at this point because he has been pushing a lot of nonsense conspiracy theorists, and like not even good conspiracy theorists, and enemies like Nick Fuentes that are trying to destroy the conservative movement.
Mm-hmm. And he's not even shy about that.
No, he's very proud of it, in fact.
It's literally what he said in his interview with Tuck. But I just want to point out, Megyn Kelly is the one who brought out the 5 million number. Megyn, you should be smarter than this. Thank you, Frosted, who says some say it's 6 million subs, but I agree. Exaggerated. Yes. Well played. I see what you did there. And Bullwinkle, thank you. Who is Tucker trying to appeal to? Confused. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what's going on with Tucker. Since he left Fox News and he doesn't have editors who are like, maybe not that one, Tuck. He's done some weird interviews. I don't have a problem with his Putin
really
interview.
Questionable so-called historians.
Yeah. The dude who told us that the real evil of World War II was Winston Churchill. Get fucked. Not Stalin. If you wanted to be like, no, the real evil of World War II was Stalin. I still think Hitler was more evil, but at least I can see an argument for that. No, it's Churchill because he wouldn't just let Hitler do what he wanted to do. Hey, fuck you, little retard. All right. So keep sucking his dick.
And so I decided to do it, and I thought it would be controversial.
Tucker, I get more views than Nick Fuentes. Can I come on your show? We're clearly.
You don't praise Stalin enough.
If Fuentes is the most influential with young men, we got to be the most influential with young men.
Yeah,
right?
There's like 5 of them in the audience right now. Like Evolved Potato's young. Hi, Evolved.
Oh,
we're influential now. Thanks.
I apologize, guys. I'm just so fucking annoyed at them trying to pretend that people actually pay attention to Nick Fuentes. Lots of us do to make fun of him, but nobody's following this guy. Even the crowds he used to draw of twinks who, I don't know what they did in their spare time. They don't even show up for him anymore.
Virtual, I didn't think it would become what it's become. I'm not going to offer any defense other than, it's kind of interesting. I've interviewed I'm doing this for 34 years. So I've interviewed everybody, most of them bad people, to be honest.
Right.
I interviewed Liberian militia leaders during the Liberian Civil War, all cannibals, every single one of them. It tasted human flesh.
Did you agree with them that eating human flesh is good? You too pretty monk Tucker's audience couldn't handle
Only
it.
if
You know how
they
to
agreed to feudalism.
Keister, you know how to suck up right. Yeah, I have no problem with him talking to Fuentes. I even have no problem with him not pushing back against Fuentes. I have a major problem with him agreeing with stupid shit like we should have a feudalist system. Because then you've gone beyond just being an interviewer. You are an advocate at that point. Don't hide behind I've done interviews with all kinds of people when you were agreeing with the motherfucker.
And first of all, I kind of like them. I'm just being honest because I like people. Don't agree with cannibalism. Pretty opposed.
For the record.
But I'm just that way. I just like people. And the closer, if you can like smell someone and talk to them, like it's hard to not see the human in the person.
If you can smell them, I'm just going to be honest. I don't smell most people. You have to be very close to smell somebody unless they're wearing like really bad and way too much perfume / cologne, or they need a bath. Otherwise, you got to be pretty close to get somebody smell. Are you Bidening it out there, bud?
I mean, he might be.
Cannabis smells good. Cannibals. Gotcha.
Even if he's a cannibal.
Did the Liberian cannibal smell good?
Kind of rank, to be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, during the interview, this is, I'll never
like
forget
chicken.
this. I was in Africa to cover the Civil War, and I'm interviewing.
Did she make a chicken joke about Africans?
Yeah. Yes. No, she made a chicken joke about cannibals, like because people taste like chicken. Apparently,
I know, but he's talking about
I see what you
cannibals.
were going for. Yeah.
Megyn, you gonna break out your blackface, sweetie?
Well, I think it'd have been racist if she had said fried chicken.
Oh, you're right. No, I got what she was actually getting at. I was just taking a cheap shot because it was funny.
Yeah.
This
fair.
guy, and he was like, Commander Butt Naked, or it wasn't actually Commander Butt Naked, who was a famous militia leader during that war, who fought, needless to say, butt naked. But I'm interviewing this guy, and his cell phone goes off, and it's the Woody Woodpecker theme song. Da 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 da. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're human. It was like hilarious. Anyway, the point is, none of those.
This is why I don't like a lot of interviews, because some people don't know when to just tell the story that matters. Instead, they tell stories like we do on this show.
Yeah, ours are cheeky and cute. This is just weird. We're not in front of a live audience telling this stupid nonsense. We're on the internet telling a live audience.
Yeah.
Controversial. Like, I interview people who are hated, in some cases like demonstrably evil, and I ask them, why did you do that, and what's your account of yourself? Like, tell me who you are. What do you believe? Mm-hmm. And that was the first thing I wanted to achieve with Nick Fuentes. Like, what is this? Tell me. I'll give you 2 hours. I have only watched your clips, are like a minute long. I want to hear, like, why don't you describe what you think? Because I think that's the small role that I play, which is to get.
And this is the shit you did with Andrew Tate. It's one thing if you're interviewing a Liberian cannibal who doesn't have a YouTube show and thousands of hours of clips of horrible shit that they've said. And you're like, tell me about you. Rather than they've already put themselves. Jack, you and I have done this show now for I think you and I together, 6 years?
Oh, yeah, at least.
I feel like people could get a decent sense of who we are based on the things we've said, the positions we've taken, and it would be disingenuous for us to go on a show and somebody go, well, you tell me about you in your own words, and us be like, actually, we're really good people who never make jokes at anybody's expense. We think it's horrible if you call a fat person fat, because there's too much evidence against that. This isn't
a good Christian boy. Didn't do nothing.
Yeah, this isn't some obscure person. There's plenty of fucking stuff out there you could have looked at and gone, oh, this is who he is, and asked him about those things. Although you probably would agree. I've told you guys.
Go ahead. I don't think that Tucker actually does any research. He's used to having people do it for him.
I've told you guys for years that this man is a commie. And nobody likes to believe that. But if you go back and you read his actual beliefs on how the economy should run, he has very communistic ideas. So him glazing a fucking piece of shit who thinks Stalin was great isn't all that weird to me. All right.
Oh, hang on. Thank you, Evolved Potato. The real evil of World War II was Woodrow Wilson because it's his decisions that led to it. I do put a lot of blame on Woodrow Wilson. And he had to be talked into this less evil plan because he originally wanted to basically genocide the Germans. I forget the name of the plan, but it's crazy. Yeah, he still managed to financially burden them so badly for World War I that they crippled the economy of the Weimar Republic. Woodrow Wilson is to fault for a lot of what happened that led up to World War II.
Well, here's the thing about that, and you're not wrong. There were a lot of things that lead to World War II, including the treaty. But when Hitler starts building up and building factories and building his military and everything, most of Europe was like, okay, whatever. So if he had just done that and just rebuilt Germany, it probably would have been fine. Nobody's going to be like, hey, you owe us a bunch of Deutschmarks, man. He's the one that takes it outside of his borders and starts wars and tries taking over all of Europe like he's Napoleon. So
yeah,
when it comes to who the bad guy of World War II is, it's just Hitler. The fact that stuff led up to it and stuff, yeah, there were shitty people involved and all that, but I don't think you can blame it on them when he's the one that reacted that way.
Well, it set the stage for somebody like Hitler to really get a foothold.
Sure.
Because when people are scared, they'll turn to anyone. You know, it's that whole Joker speech that Michael Caine gives. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of blame to go around, but Woodrow Wilson is a key player in giving Hitler the opportunity to get where he did.
Sure.
So, yeah, I detest Wilson for so many reasons. He was absolutely a progressive, borderline communist, and he's to blame for a lot of the problems that we still have here, including the income tax, a lot of the social programs that have failed over the decades. Wilson was a dangerous president, and he set the stage and influenced a lot of people like FDR, who I also detest.
Sorry, sinuses. Here we go.
Documentary evidence of people describing what they think. I did it with Putin. I'll probably do it with every other bad person in the world because I'm interested. Not because I agree with him, because I think it's interesting. And second, I wanted...
Did you hear what he said there? Not because I agree with him, because I think it's interesting. I have no problem with I think it's interesting. But you did agree with him, Dick. God damn.
to say something very specific to Nick Fuentes, and it's this, and I said it, which is, I think it's totally legitimate to criticize any foreign country, from Belgium to Congo to Israel, because they're foreign countries.
Yes.
And I'll never give up that right. In fact, it's an obligation, I would say, and to be reasonable about it, and not, but what's in America's interest? Totally legitimate. It is totally illegitimate and very specifically unchristian to attack people for their DNA. Like, I hate this group.
You wanted him to hear that.
We all have to hear that.
I will give him credit. He did say that to Fuentes. We watched that part of the clip. And then you agreed with him that feudalism is the way to go.
Yeah, I heard don't be mean to people based on inherent characteristics when I was like 5.
Yeah. If Nick Fuentes needed to hear that message, he's not going to be smart enough to take it in.
I think he takes it.
And because that is the basis of Western civilization.
You probably could have said that to him in a text. you said you'd been feuding with him, trading stuff back and forth behind the scenes. You probably could have said that to him in a text message. Right? This is 2025, right?
I don't know what year it is anymore.
Western civilization is derived from the New Testament. It is based on Christian ethics. And the core difference between the West and the rest of the world, not just Israel, but every other country, is that we don't believe in collective punishment because we don't believe in blood guilt. We don't believe that you are born guilty, and we also don't believe that you're born virtuous. We believe that God created every person as an individual. God did not create communities. Every woman gives birth to a human being, and every person has this spark of...
God, I wish he was right.
He has no evidence of that.
I wish he was right that in the West we don't do that, but I've survived the last 15 years. I am a white man in America. I am blamed for everything.
Right?
My fat ass has been in this room basically for the last 10 years, and apparently I am the most powerful person on the planet.
Oh, hell, monkey. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we don't believe in collective guilt. Depends. There's a whole bunch of Christians who are like, they killed my savior. Oddly enough, those same Christians will say, I had nothing to do with slavery. Anyway.
Yeah.
God inside him. I mean, that's what we believe as Christians. And every person has the possibility of redemption. And in my religion, the great human hero, in Christianity, Jesus is God in human form. But the great human hero in the New Testament is its primary author, Paul, who was Saul of Tarsus, who was the primary persecutor as a Pharisee of Christians. He was murdering Christians. He was Jewish, by the way, so like everyone in the New Testament, but he was on the way to go murder more Christians, that he met Jesus, and then he became the great evangelist of our faith and wrote the majority of the New Testament. So like he's my personal hero, but he's also living testament to the truth about people, which is each one of us was born as an individual, and we will face God alone at the end to account for our lives. And along the way, there is always the possibility that no matter what your genes are, what you look like, or what your religion is, that you can change. And that you...
This is one of those places where religious people lose me, because as an agnostic, I do believe people can change, Jack. I don't think it happens all that often, if I'm being honest, but it's possible, and it doesn't take a God to do that. I'm glad that God allows somebody like Tucker to see that that's possible for people to change. But I don't feel like, look, again, I don't have a problem with him talking to Nick Fuentes. But even from the part that we saw, you weren't changing Nick's mind. You weren't even really trying to. You didn't really push back on him in any major way, for even with what you did do with, like, we don't do blood libel. Is that the only reason you shouldn't hate Jews? Is the only reason Nick hates Jews is because of something that happened 2,000 years ago? Or does Nick run around saying, the Jews, they're bad, they control America? Jews control America is not a blood libel issue. The fuck are you talking about? Speaking of which, I saw another moron today. I was watching that Asmongold clip, and this dude brought up the USS Liberty, and I am so tired of anti-Jews talking about the USS Liberty when they have no idea what happened there. All they've heard is some other idiot on the internet say USS Liberty. The Jews took responsibility for that near immediately. And when I say near immediately, it took an hour back in the 60s. They weren't like, no, it was totally the Muslims. Oh, you caught us.
Yeah, that's been a talking point for a really long time. Look, there's a thing called the fog of war.
Yep.
And sometimes you charge into a situation not knowing what's going on. Anybody that played World of Warcraft 2, or I'm sorry, Warcraft 2, where you had you couldn't see beyond a certain region? That's the fog of war. And if you don't understand this concept that sometimes there's friendly fire, you're kind of a tard. Did the Jews do it on purpose? I think that would have been the stupidest thing they could have done. So no, I don't think they did. Whoopsies happen. You don't have to like it, but it does happen.
Yeah, and it sucks. Americans died in that, and
yeah,
if the Muslims hadn't have been kicking off some shit, we wouldn't have been in that issue.
Absolutely.
It couldn't even have happened.
There's plenty of things to complain about with Israel, but constantly bringing up these quasi-real stories that people don't bother to do any research on is not productive. And in fact, it hurts your cause because you look like a nut.
Gigi Evan, thank you so much. You said Tucker not bringing up how Nick covered for one of his high-ranking members sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy is the biggest screw-up in his interview, in my opinion. Well, yeah, this is one of the things why I mentioned that there's enough information on Nick Fuentes that you don't need to bring him in here and be like, tell me who you are. Tell me who you are. You seem like a nice young man.
Well, Tucker also kind of glazed over a lot of the accusations against Andrew Tate.
Yes, he did. No, wait. I'm going to correct you. He didn't glaze over it. He buried it.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'm a little sick of people doing that shit. Like, talk about the reality of the situation. Fuentes is borderline a sex pest, and the whole cum hunting thing, that don't even get me started. Yeah. Andrew Tate is definitely accused of being a sex pest with many, many charges.
Yep.
So maybe don't bury that and actually address that, because that's a major part of the criticisms. Instead, he has a bad habit of covering for sex offenses.
One correction to what you said there. Andrew has a lot of accusations of shit he's admitted to.
Oh yeah. I didn't mean to minimize that at all.
That is an important part of the Tate story and how Candace and Tucker covered it.
Yeah,
is because with the exception of the outright rape that he's been accused of, everything Andrew was accused of in Romania, he has admitted to online and bragged about. It's on video. And neither one of them, Candace did bring up one little thing, but she clipped the worst part of it. And she's like, here, you were just being edgy, right? Dumb whore. Told my daughter the other day.
Is friends with him.
Told my daughter the other day she needs to get a YouTube show because I need a smart woman on the internet that I can point to. My daughter's wicked smart.
Yeah, she was like, fuck that. I've seen what you retards do.
Oh, all right. And that's not just her daddy bragging about her. My daughter's actually like fucking wicked smart.
You can be saved.
That's why she's avoiding the
Jesus.
internet like the plague, dude.
That is Christianity in 3 sentences. And so that is reflected even for...
I just have to point out that some of the audience is clapping right now, and I guarantee you some of them were the ones clapping when Nick Fuentes' name was even brought up. And now they're like, you're right, we shouldn't be mean to the Jews.
People who aren't Christians, that is...
Go ahead.
No, I was sighing in agreement.
Yeah.
reflected in an ethical framework and a legal code that is the only truly unusual and great thing about the West, which is we do not punish the innocent. We only punish the guilty.
And this is the problem with somebody like Nick Fuentes. He just sees all the Jews as guilty. Sorry, Israelis.
We do not, you commit a crime, we don't throw your kids in jail. We don't execute your cousins. We don't commit genocide against your whole tribe. We punish you because you did it. We treat each person as an individual. That is Western civilization. That's a Christian understanding. It does not derive from any other religion. Christianity alone, unique, makes that claim. And that.
This question was why Nick Fuentes, right? She hasn't asked a follow-up question on that at all. I just want to make sure I'm on the same page here.
That's the basis of our justice system, which, again, even non-Christians appreciate. That's why they move here, because it's self-evidently more humane. That's where the idea of human rights come from. They're not collective.
Didn't you say you wanted a feudal system? I feel like you might want to do some digging into what that means, Tuck.
Collective rights. It's not that your tribe has rights and his tribe doesn't. It's you as an individual have rights. And that idea is not only being challenged in our country, it's being disregarded. It's disregarded in DEI, it's disregarded in affirmative action. Identity politics is a refutation of that idea. We are awarding some people something because of how they were born and hurting others for the same reason. That is anti-Western, it's evil, and it leads, in the end, inexorably to genocide.
So you bring the guy on who does that to people?
Isn't Fuentes a genocide denier?
Yes, he is. Megyn brings that up in the clip that I've seen.
That is the root idea behind.
He's talked about things leading to genocides, but then he is chatting with a genocide denier. Okay, I'm a little thrown by that.
Again, not just chatting with him, but not pushing back when he says stupid shit. I have no... Talk to anybody you want to. I have no problem with it. There's, what's his name? That black guy who goes and talks to people in the Klan. You know, like, I never speak to people in the Klan. He's turned several of them out of the Klan. So it's fine to go talk to people, but if you don't push back, then you're just giving them a platform. And if that's what you want to do, fine, but don't try to dress it up as though you were doing something noble. You were just hyping a dick. Daryl Davis. I think that's his name. Yeah. I didn't want to say it because it's really close to that guy who got killed in Minneapolis, that one ex-cop.
Yeah.
What was his name? Was something Davis, right?
I think so.
Or it was Daryl's. I forget. But yeah, I get names mixed up, especially as I move away from the last time I talked about him. Fuck, I mix up you guys' names and you're in chat every night. David Dorn there. See, even that I mix up.
What happened in Europe in the 40s under the Nazis, it's the root idea behind what happened in Rwanda in 1994. It's the root idea, just saying, behind what's happening in Gaza right now.
There's not a genocide going on in Gaza, you fucking retard. The Gazans are not being punished because of something their dads did. They're being punished for shit they did. They started a war.
That does not fit the anti-Jew narrative, Monkey. So you're going to need to address the open-air prison appropriately.
The open-air prison with the 5-star resorts in it. The genocide where the population doubled.
Yeah, that one.
It's like, we're going to kill the kids too. We don't care. And we're going to, by the way, move everyone out because they're a people that is fundamentally opposed to us.
When did the Israelis say they didn't care about dead kids?
It was in a memo. You missed it.
It is an unfortunate consequence of war. You're going to find... Believe it or not, Tucker, when we dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, there wasn't some anti-child killing technology in the bombs.
You don't know.
Jesus.
All those kids got vaporized because they were little. So
yeah.
There's
Well,
no
I'm not
evidence
for
they
that.
exist.
Sorry, because that's not the Western understanding of justice. We punish the guilty alone. We do not punish the innocent. Period. And
Firebombing Tokyo.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. What you just said goes against most of Western history. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that you were responsible for the debts of your parents or your spouse or somebody else who you had nothing to do with the debt, but you were related to them.
Yeah.
It's this utopias bullshit. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
that's not racism, and in fact, it's the answer to racism. It's the answer to anti-Semitism. It's why anti-Semitism is wrong. It's why racism is wrong. No, you're not better than me. No, you're not worse than me because of how you were born. You're the same as me because we were both created by God.
And that, look, I get it. That's the high-minded idea, and I actually agree with that. Racism and Jew hating and stupid, just dumb. Especially, and I do make an exception for Jew hating versus like Islamophobia, and I know that that's hypocritical. No, because some Jews are Jews just because of their bloodline. Nobody is an Islamist because they were just born a Muslim. That is a choice you make and stick with. And yes, there are some Jews that stick to the religious part of it, but there's an ethnic component to being Jewish that's not based on any faith or belief. Bullwinkle, thank you. So they don't count the billions gave to Gaza before the war. Shh. And Darth Mondo, thank you. For starters, he's doing the same as Candace does, just asking questions. Also, he does not call out Palestinians using civilians as slaves and then killing Jewish babies after taking them hostage. Well, he didn't bring up, the fact that babies were dying in Gaza because Hamas was hiding behind them with their parents' approval.
Oh yeah, they're martyrs for the cause. He also doesn't mention that Hamas likes to encamp in public places like hospitals and schools, so that they can then cry about how, oh, you're murdering all our kids and whatnot.
I just had a weird thought.
Uh-oh.
If a little Gazan baby male is killed and he's martyred, does he get 72 virgins?
Probably. None of which would be able to breastfeed him because they're virgins.
Where do all those virgins come from?
Star Trek conventions.
Is that all the women that they stoned to death?
No, it's all the guys that played World of Warcraft and didn't go outside and get sunlight. It's those guys, the smelly fat guys.
She showed ankle. We had to kill her.
Yeah. Whore.
Right.
Period. So the whole idea of thinking of people as members of tribes, any tribe, including my tribe, is prima facie immoral. And yet,
have you had this conversation with Candace?
it is the operating idea.
I don't have a tribe. I live in a city.
Thank you, Bullwinkle. If Toledo, Ohio had been given that money, look, you're never going to convince me that we should be spending or not convince me that we should be spending our money on Americans before anyone else. I hear you.
Well, let's be honest. Toledo's always going to be a shithole. So
True.
It's the other armpit from Youngstown. And then you got Cincinnati, which is Ohio's crotch. They're all shitholes.
Thank you, Gigi. Look, I'm just tired of Israel pickpocketing America for their iron yarmulke defense system. It's like they forgot what happens when they create a golem. I know a lot of people don't like this, but I'm okay with us helping with the Iron Dome, because you really don't want Israel to fall, guys. I know they're like, it has nothing to do with us. All right. See what happens when we have no way of stopping the oncoming Muslim onslaught.
It's already pretty close to that, but yeah, I think that Israel does serve a strategic importance for us.
Yep.
Especially because they have several ports that would be of very good use in the event of a major Middle East conflict, which could still happen.
Yep. And I know we shouldn't get involved in other wars, but history doesn't really allow for that.
Yeah.
Behind so much of our politics. And I reject it. I reject it when it manifests as anti-Semitism. I reject it when it manifests as anti-white racism, which has been pretty common. I know we're not supposed to say it, but it's real. But I'm not mad about that just because my kids are white, which they are. I'm mad about that because the idea is immoral, it's anti-Christian, and that is the destruction of the West. And so when I see these people like, we're defending Western, when Mark Levin's like, we're defending Western civilization, or Randy Fine, who's like, yeah, we just have to kill every Palestinian because they're Palestinian so we can defend Western civilization. I'm like, no. You're the enemy of Western civilization because collective punishment is the enemy of Western civilization. Period.
Michael Fine came up on my timeline today because, and it's weird because it's actually from 2021, and somebody sent him a picture of a dead baby that the Jews had done in Gaza. Except it's actually a picture from 2012 in Syria, but since when do Jew haters care about authenticity? I hear you, Tucker.
Being morally correct, right?
Indeed. I hear you, Tucker. But here's the reality. The other side wants your absolute destruction. And at some point, something's got to give. You either give in to them or you end up having to stand up to them. And this is what the Jews have been dealing with in their country for decades. Long before the Muslims hit us, they were blowing up Jews on the regular. It's why they locked everything down over there. And then what they do? They stepped away from Gaza. They left them alone for almost 20 fucking years. And what was their reward for doing that? 2,000 of them were slaughtered during a peace festival. Am I saying we need to kill them all? Nope. But we should certainly beat them the fuck down so they stop trying to kill us. And if you're like, I'm an American, September 11th, motherfucker. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's important to realize. Sorry,
go ahead.
It's important to realize that there is a lot of. It's not collectivist to say that these people are our enemy because they keep trying to kill us, and that they educate their families and their children for generations to hate you. Eventually, when you go to war, you don't get to be selective like this. And Islamists are a death cult. So, of course, they're going to brainwash generations of their people into hating you and wanting to kill you. You don't get to pick and choose like, well, this person over here, let's evaluate them to see if they're the bad guy or not. You don't get to do that in warfare, buddy. That's unrealistic to say the least, and delusional at best.
I have no sympathy for the Gazans and can still see the Hebrews are going rogue. Going rogue how? They have been remarkably restrained. The Jews could have literally flattened all of Gaza.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to say, and I said it, and they called me a Nazi, and I'm like, actually...
You didn't say all of that. What you said to him took like less than a minute. That was like 10 minutes of you preaching at us.
I hate the Nazis for that specific reason.
But wait, what I hear you saying, sort of, is that you wanted to reach him. You wanted him.
Of course I want to reach him and everyone watching.
But were you trying to help?
I thought you just wanted to talk to interesting people and find out who they were.
him in a way?
I want to tell the truth as I understand it with the ever-present knowledge that I'm kind of a buffoon and I'm often wrong. I supported the Iraq War. I remind myself of that every single day.
I still do.
I've made a ton of mistakes, a ton of errors and judgments. I've been carried away by enthusiasm and particularly by anger many times in my life. So with that knowledge, knowing that I am imperfect and
Can I also just say I hate those chairs they're sitting on? And it's not because they're fuzzy chairs, but look how
those chairs are fucking hideous.
Look how stiff they're sitting on top of them. That they don't. There's like no give. Those can't be comfortable at all. Their butts don't sink in at all. You can
they
see
look like
Megyn's,
somebody skinned a couple of yaks out of hatred.
Yeah, you can see Megyn's whole flat ass.
don't always possess the truth, okay? You always have
ugly. There's no lumbar support.
Yeah.
Hey, let me grab a couple of chats here while we're paused. Thank you, Darth Mando. Also, people had to acknowledge, I think hate to acknowledge, but Israel helps create new tech, both medical and defensive. Also,
True.
as a Jew, hate Israel's Jews all you want, but they still are a fuck ton better than the dirty muzzies. Yeah, the Muslims haven't invented anything in 1,000 years, and most of what they're credited with inventing is information they stole from the Byzantines and just kept for themselves. So yeah, I'm not real keen on the people that want to destroy history and slit your throat because they don't believe in anything before their religion, and you're not a member of it, so they got to kill you or tax you into oblivion. I'm not a big fan of those people. And also, thank you, Frosted. I used Grok to crunch the numbers. Israel's killed a max of 2.5% of Gaza's civilian population since October 7th. We did the same to Tokyo in 3 months from bombings. Yeah, we firebombed the shit out of Tokyo, and it killed way more people than either of the nukes. At this rate, Gaza genocide...
Not only did we firebomb them, don't forget, we took out their water towers before we sent in the incendiary bombs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you can't do a good firebombing without that. Yeah. Let's not forget napalm in Vietnam. Literally fire that sticks to you. At this rate, Gaza genocide will be done in about 97 years. Not very efficient for Jews. Right? Well, it does seem like they're getting a little bit lazy on this genocide thing.
Don't forget, their population was still going up. A lot of people point to Gaza and go, but only half of their population is under 20. Yeah, that's because they have a baby boom. What kind of fucking idiot lets a genocide happen or has a genocide happen and lets the population double?
Yeah. Pointing out that the population is largely under 20 really contravenes your argument there. That's it's not very smart. But then again, we're talking about some real dum-dums.
Yeah. Sorry, if I had a camera on, you would have seen that sneeze. You'd have seen that sneeze coming.
I would have laughed at you. I'd have been like, "Look, he's gonna sneeze."
That's why there was some dead air there. Bullwinkle, thank you. The Great Plague in 2025 remains superstition. Are you talking about religion? Go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, I'm good. I'm just tired of look. There's plenty of things to criticize Israel for, but this genocide thing is bullshit.
Yep, I'm just tired of every time, and this has been going on for decades. Every time the crazy Muslims over there do some horrible shit, and then the Jews retaliate. It's always retaliate. The fucking West comes out and like, you're going too far. How dare you be mean to those people who killed you? I'm so tired of that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Remember that because I'm not God. I still want to tell the truth as clearly and completely as I can in every venue, in every conversation.
Then you need to do a follow-up to your Andrew Tate interview.
Fearlessly and without shame as I possibly can. And that's why Nazi Week doesn't bother.
Of course it's not, because I want to tell the truth every time, except all the times I haven't. This is what bothers me about you, Tucker. You've done some good work over the years. You have. Unfortunately, you've also done a lot of really bad work, shoddy work, that you didn't even have to do that much research to have known what you were talking about. Which leads me to believe that the best argument you can make is that you were willfully ignorant. And that is not something to brag about.
Me anymore because I'm not a Nazi. I'm
Yeah.
a Christian.
No.
Of course. So what about? I don't want to spend the whole time on this, but I am curious. The main criticism, as I understand it, has been, well, yes, platforming. They say that I don't accept platforming as a valid objection.
yeah,
When is that a verb? By the
Like-
way, you take a noun and you make it into a verb and nobody says anything? As a former editor, I say no.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Honestly, but as far as I know, Nick Fuentes hasn't eaten anyone. You know, I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer ate people, and he was platformed by Diane Sawyer.
We have a sitting member of Congress. I spoke to the Speaker of the House about this.
Depends how
Go ahead.
much.
Hello?
Depends how much cum he's eaten.
Fair.
Today, we have a sitting member of Congress from Florida called Randy Fine, who was literally texted or put on Twitter, "We should kill them all, every single one." Someone texted a picture of literally a dead baby, and he laughs at it. And it's like,
He actually didn't laugh at it. He said, "Thanks for the picture." I try to tell the truth all the time. Isn't that what you just said? Didn't he just say that?
Yeah.
I feel like that was less than a minute ago.
I think a better example would have been Jay Jones, who talked about murdering a person's children.
Hang on just a second. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Bullwinkle, thank you. Yes, men still fighting on who God likes best. Well, if you can show me proof God doesn't exist, I'll listen. I'm all for pointing out that, the religions might not be what's the word I'm looking for here? Correct on which one they're following, but I can't say that there's no God. What was I saying here? I was looking for that picture. Oh, I can't find it. Damn it. I know I replied to it. I know I was snarky to the little fucker over it. Oh, this one right here. All right. So here's what he's talking about. Supporting killing innocent people and babies and smearing voices that fight against genocide for some APAC money says a lot about your character. You should be ashamed of yourself. How do you sleep at night? And he replied, quite well, actually. Thanks for the pic. Where's the laughter there, Tuck? By the way, this was supposedly a genocide going on in Gaza. And if you look at the date on that, it's 6/4/21. And this is a picture from 2012 in Syria. Or at least that's the earliest anybody can find that it was attributed to.
Yeah, so it's probably been recycled more times before that.
Well, there's something amazing that happens if you zoom in real close on the hand that you can see of that baby. It's missing a finger.
Oh, they cut his finger off too.
Yeah, this is most likely an AI picture because that's what early AI did, was remove fingers and shit.
Well, sometimes they added new fingers.
Sometimes they did. That's true. Okay, so back to I try to tell the truth all the time. He laughed at that picture. Or he didn't, and you just lied. But why should you tell the truth? Thank you, Gigi Evan. I'd bet $1 to donuts if Tucker was a bishop in the 1940s, he'd be running the rat rhymes after having a chat with Reinhard Heydrich. I think Tucker just gave away the real truth. Is he's just not really that smart. He wants to be, and he wants to be taken seriously, but he falls for shit all the time that he shouldn't, because it doesn't take much to convince him of anything. Totally
Yeah,
unmoved
I have
by
a sneaking
Go ahead.
I have a sneaking suspicion that he believes what people sitting in front of him tell him.
Yeah. Totally unmoved by pick. Don't give a shit. Yeah, the guy was trying to. He did get snarky with him. He didn't laugh, but he did get snarky with the guy because the guy's being an asshole. You support genocide because of AIPAC. I went back and looked through it. The actual conversation had nothing to do with supporting genocide. But that's how it got put out there. And now Tucker is on a stage with Megyn Kelly lying about it and repeating it.
Yeah.
Because he believes in judging people individually. Go ahead.
Thank you, Darth Mando. Tucker's a paid shill by Qatar. Everyone who went to Tate, not just defended him, came back different and suddenly all turned to Jew hatred. I'm telling you. Look, it wouldn't surprise me if Qatar is paying a lot of these people. They have deep pockets and they really hate the Jews. And they've also been hiding the Hamas leadership for better part of a decade now.
This guy's a lawmaker who's appropriating money to a military committing genocide, and that's cool. It's not cool.
No.
And let's just be honest. That is much worse than anything Nick Fuentes has said, period.
Really? Because I just saw a clip of Nick Fuentes saying it was no big deal that a grown man was getting basically naked pictures from a 15-year-old.
Look, sexual proclivities we have to ignore, Monkey. Remember, because they're speaking truth to power or some shit.
Can I just point out that Tucker started this by telling us he didn't know anything about Nick? But now suddenly he's an expert on the worst shit that Nick has ever said? Hey, Tucker, do you know about Nick?
Stop noticing things.
You know about Nick threatening to kill somebody with a knife? Probably not, right?
Things. Stop noticing things.
Oh, such disingenuous shit. Either you know the guy or you don't.
So the main pushback has been when you had Jeffrey Dahmer or the Ku Klux Klan, or et cetera, these journalists went after them, like exposed the terrible things. And Nick Fuentes has said a long list of very vile things.
Big time, including attacking my dad, which was the most vile of all, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million, seems to be his theory. He thinks
saying thanks for the picture is worse than denying the Holocaust. I disagree with you on that, but whatever.
Seem to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms. Which I mean, so what do you say to those people? Say, why didn't you raise any of that?
Do your own interview, the way that you.
Because he's a fucking pussy who's just. I have a theory, Jack, that there is a dedicated marketing thing, much like we see with Hassan, but with Nick. And that there's a certain group of people, because Candace had Nick on back in May, that they're trying to push this, and that's why he did it, and that's why it was a softball fucking interview. Because that's what I don't answer to anybody anymore. Then you're a fucking retard. Those are the only two choices: is you do still have somebody telling you what you can and cannot ask, or you're a fucking retard. You just sat up here and said a man laughing at a dead baby, which he didn't do, is worse than anything Nick says. And she asked you, hey, people are actually saying that you didn't push back on any of this. Why not? And his bitch ass answer is, you do your own interview.
Yeah, that's a cop-out answer.
Yeah.
Just because you're getting criticized doesn't mean you shouldn't answer the question. You just look like a fucking douchebag. Oh, do your own interview then. Nah, shut up, dude. Just say, look, maybe I didn't answer the questions you wanted me to answer. You could. There are a dozen ways to answer this without being a dick about it.
I've said before when people are like, how come you haven't covered this? Like, do your own show and cover it. But it would be one thing for me, for somebody to be like, hey, how come you didn't talk about Gaza? when I'd been talking about Gaza and I skipped some major part that everybody knew about. It's an entirely different thing when I'm talking about like the most recent football game and somebody like, how come you're not talking about Gaza? You had Nick in front of you, Dick.
Yeah.
It is not unreasonable for somebody to go, how come you didn't ask him about this?
Yeah, if he wanted to be honest about it, he could have just said, look, I forgot. I didn't know about that. That's a lot more honest. But he's not being honest.
He could even say, I wasn't interested in that part. And that's a fine answer.
It's acceptable for sure. I mean, there are way better answers than deflection like this.
Connect, thank you so much. Nick is an op sent to destroy the right. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I really don't.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
I think he's getting money from some Muslim group. Nothing else makes sense.
Yeah.
And isn't it a little weird that suddenly he starts taking all these anti-Jew things and then, the same thing that places where kings have, and now he's like, feudalism's the best. You don't even need a cork board to draw this one out.
Right?
Want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him and go sit and yell at him and feel virtuous or whatever. That's up to you.
I accept.
Me too. I'll take his phone number.
Yeah. He offered it publicly. So
yes, he did.
Take it up with Tucker when I call you and laugh at your fucking face, retard.
I got the same thing with Putin. Why aren't you yelling at him? Okay, why? So I can show that I'm a good person? I care about what my wife thinks, my children think, and God thinks, and that's it. I don't need to prove that I'm a good person to you. You may think I'm a terrible person. Okay, I'm just doing my thing, which is I want to understand what people think. And
how can you understand what people think when you purposefully ignore what they've said out loud?
Stop noticing things.
I just want to understand what they think. You don't know what he thinks because you ignored all of it. Oh my, you're such a pussy. You're such a pussy.
You keep noticing things, Monkey. That is contrary to what we're trying to do here with this propaganda talk.
Is Piers Morgan getting Muslim funds? I haven't seen any evidence of that. Look, I'm not even against people getting Muslim funds. I'm one of the few people who said I didn't give a shit if Tenet was getting money from Russia. I don't care where it's coming from as long as you're honest about everything.
Yeah. Well, that's the hard part is transparency.
And I'm committed to that. And if you don't like it, don't watch. That's my view.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that I share the views. I'm not telling Nazi jokes, obviously, or Holocaust jokes. I mean, please. And I don't, I'm not telling him even in private because I'm not into that at all. But I will say just...
You didn't ask him about his defense of his pedophile friend. He was right in front of you. Ugh.
Since you brought it up, one thing that did bother me was the Usha Vance thing. And I did actually... I generally make it a practice not to be like, you said this and da-da-da-da-da, and the internet tells me, or...
No, nobody, you don't have to say the internet tells me. That first part, I make it a point not to say you said this. Why?
Yeah,
why?
Isn't that part of interviewing people is confronting them on the things they said? Like, you don't have to be a dick about it, but...
Who would make Holocaust jokes? Those people burn me up. Hey, they're gas. I don't have a problem with Holocaust jokes. That's not the problem with Nick. It's that he actually believes the underlying philosophy.
Yeah, that's the concerning bit.
The ADL says you said this. It's like, why don't you just tell me what you do think? Like, why don't you speak for yourself? Because we're adults.
I don't ask you about things you've said because I'm going to let you speak for yourself.
I mean, isn't it how interviews are done when you ask for clarification on something? Like the EDL says you said this. Is that accurate? I mean, that's not an unreasonable thing to do.
Here's the thing. It's 2025. You can go look up all the shit Nick has said. You can look and be, oh, the ADL said he said this, and then go find the fucking clip and see if that's what he said.
Sounds like a lot of extra steps, Monkey, when you could just gloss over it entirely.
But I just love that logic. I'm not going to ask you about the things you said. Instead, I'm going to let you tell me what you think. You don't think the things he said reflected the things he thinks?
Stop noticing things.
Oh my God, you're such a moron. I had such higher expectations of your intelligence. Because the other answer is that you're a liar. And I haven't quite gotten to you being a liar yet, Tuck. I'm getting closer though. Just gonna be honest.
Yeah, we're definitely heading in that direction.
People do need to challenge the ADL over a man called Leo Frank. This is the guy who basically, if I'm remembering right, is the guy basically the ADL starts out over, and he was accused of rape, if I remember right. I have no love for the ADL. The ADL lies all the time. The ADL, didn't they get in trouble for calling a Muslim Islamophobic? Wasn't that them? The ADL, so. Yeah, the ADL is a piece of shit, and they lie all the time. But you can fact check them, especially with something like, did Nick Fuentes say this? You can go look it up and go, oh yeah, he did, and it's actually worse than they made it look.
Yeah.
That is my approach with everybody, whether I like him or don't like him. But the Usha Vance thing did upset me.
I'm fairly certain that I've seen episodes of your former show on Fox where you asked politicians about the things they had said in public. I am 99% sure of that.
Because I know Usha Vance and I love Usha Vance, and I was really offended by that, just personally because I know her, right? And in a normal way. And I did think about that. Like, that pissed me off. And I'm just being as honest as I can be. I didn't want to repeat it.
Yeah, no, you're always in that position.
You didn't have to repeat it. You could have said, hey, you said some horrible shit about Mrs. Vance. Why? I didn't want to repeat that. To the millions of people who watched your interview who would have got a real idea of who Nick Fuentes was if they saw what he said. But I wanted to let him speak. You are, I knew this was going to piss me off because of the Andrew Tate interview. It was so bad. I didn't realize it was going to be this bad. I didn't realize he was going to contradict himself within moments of what he had just said.
Well, he's trying to protect his image or his ego. I'm not sure which, but there's definitely a lot of like justifying his own actions here. It's okay to admit you make mistakes. We're all human beings, allegedly, but it's okay to say I made a mistake or I didn't do enough research or maybe I should have asked him these questions, but that wasn't the direction the interview went. Explanations are not necessarily justifications, but he's justifying here.
Yeah, he could have said, I didn't want to go to that ugly place in this interview. I was trying to just have a friendly conversation. And that would have made it contentious, and I was trying not to make it contentious. Instead, I didn't want to repeat the kind of words he said. I didn't want to repeat it. But you were giving him a chance to say it again, right? Because you said you were letting him tell you what he thought. So what if during that interview he started talking about what a horrible, nasty, foreign whore that she is? What would you have done? Because you were letting him give his own telling of things, right? And he said that stuff before.
Yeah. There's a point where interviewing becomes platforming.
Yeah.
And Tucker's trying to dance that line where he's like, oh, I'm not platforming him. I'm just asking the tough questions, or I'm just having a conversation. Yeah, well, infomercials are still broadcast on TV. That doesn't make them not commercials.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying here?
I do absolutely. Dave Smith interview was pretty good. Dave Smith interview with who? With Tucker or with Nick? Says even though he's a smug dipshit with Dunning-Kruger and RBF. What is RBF?
Roast beef fanaticism.
I
don't know.
I have that too. I do like roast beef.
Everybody likes roast beef. If not, you're probably a lizard person.
Oh, Dave Smith did one with Fuentes. I'll have to check it out. I have problems watching Dave because you're right. He is smug as shit.
Yeah, I don't really tolerate a whole lot of smugness. That gets so tiresome. You see it a lot with like Kyle Kalinske and that weird looking douchebag that we talk about sometimes, whose name always escapes me. You know the one, the weird nose.
No.
Damn, what the fuck is his name? Begins with like a P or something.
With a weird
we
nose?
talk about him. Hmm?
With a weird nose?
Yeah, he's got a big nose. Not a Roman nose, just like he looks like he stole Bill Cosby's nose. Yeah, we talk about him all the time because he says stupid shit. He's got the white background and oh fuck, I'm drawing such a blank. He looks like he's fuck, I don't know what his name. It doesn't matter.
Give me another clue because now I want to find out who this is.
He's a leftist, like a hardcore leftist.
With
He's
a white
always
background.
trying to get in the news.
What color is he?
Yeah, it's like a white square. He's a white dude. He's got like this, like almost like a 70s screen behind him. Like it's kind of driving me nuts. I'm not gonna lie.
Anybody in chat know what he's talking about?
Oh, resting
No.
bitch face.
Yeah, I saw that. RBF. No, not Kyle Kalinske. He already mentioned him.
No, it's the other guy, the other douchebag.
Sam Cedar?
No, not Sam Cedar. Somebody equally douchey though. Damn.
Oh, Dave Packman. Is that who we're talking about?
Yeah, Dave Packman. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah. I knew his last name started with a P, but I couldn't think of it because I kept just thinking penis face, and I knew that wasn't it.
I thought his background was blue.
But I don't know. I don't watch that piece of shit. I just vaguely remember that it looks kind of like a porn set if they were going to do a news broadcast to have sex on it.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. And you are right. He does have a weird fucking nose, but I don't think we've ever talked about him having a weird nose.
No, I don't think so. But that was only the only descriptor is it looks like he stole someone else's nose because it doesn't fit his face.
Yep, you are 100%. All right, back to this idiot. Megyn,
Sorry
I thought, no, you're fine. Megyn, I thought better of you too.
You know,
As a journalist, you're always there. Like, do I repeat it?
well, if you know the person
and spread it,
well,
or
kind of, and it's like so wounding. And I mean,
I get the worry there, spreading it. But when you're talking about an asshole like Nick Fuentes, somebody that a lot of folks, Tucker, are pumping up as the next Charlie Kirk or as the leader of young men, the most influential voice for young men, maybe that is a good time to go, hey, this is what this fucknut said. That is not the time to be like, we probably shouldn't be spreading that information. Do not spread the asshole. Oh, all right.
protect my wife, as I said. So I don't know. I'm sensitive on that.
So let me ask you
Maybe
this.
I made the wrong call, by the way. Probably.
So now, having done it, what do you think of him?
Wait. Did he just finish that with maybe I made the wrong call? Probably. After offering all that bullshit defense for not doing it? I hate these people.
It's another deflection, dude. He's got to shift the goalpost. So he's always in the clear.
Yeah. Thank you, Connect. Who's worse, Hassan or Nick? It depends on what you mean by worse. I think they are equally shitty commentators. I think the nonsense they spread is equally dangerous and stupid. But Hassan is worse because he actually does reach a lot of young men and women for that account. He actually does have a big enough reach that he's affecting things. I don't think that he's the reason Mamdani won, but he is the reason that Twitch is a leftist shithole. Faithless says same coin, different sides. Yeah. The only problem is that Hassan it landed with the coin Hassan face up. And he gets attention. So just for that, Hassan is worse. Hassan is worse for his dog. Well, we don't know how Nick has treated any animals. I could see him abusing animals. Go ahead.
I could see him abusing furries because he treats them like animals.
Yeah.
I just want to make a furry joke.
Does Fuentes get interviews with politicians? He will now.
Yeah. He's been platformed and supported by Tucker. He'll get a lot more notice now. They're trying really hard to pump Fuentes up for some reason.
Fuentes had Marjorie Taylor Greene at his gay offshoot of whatever APAC or Turning Point USA did. He also had, who was the senator who spoke there?
Oh, I don't remember his name.
Interviews, not that I'm aware of. That'll come as they keep pumping his dumb ass up until somebody points out the horrible shit he says.
Yeah.
Anyway.
About Fuentes?
Yeah.
I think it's so funny. I did not make Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is he's just enormously gifted as a broadcaster. I mean, it's like,
oh my God, cup his balls too, Tucker. Jeez.
I've seen Nick Fuentes' show. It's really not that good. That's how he sounds.
Yeah, Fuentes looks like a caricature of somebody that in a cartoon would be drawn like a rat.
He's enormously gifted.
Getting married and having sex with a woman is gay. Gifted.
I don't want to play anymore.
Tucker broke monkey.
You know, it is amazing to me. When me and Sats used to do game streams, I used to make the jokes that in order to get more people to watch, we had to be bombastic. We had to yell a lot because that's what the popular game streamers do. If you look at the popular political streamers or political personalities, the majority of them are boring as fuck. Whether you're talking about Jeremy or you're talking about Hassan or you're talking about Nick, they are boring as fuck, and I don't get it.
I don't either. I blame a lot of that on people like Charlie Rose back in the day from like the 60s and 70s where they were just sitting there talking monotone, and somehow that got equated with political conversation. Now Fuentes doesn't really have a monotone because he's got such a high-pitched girly voice. But like, look at Jeremy Hambley. The man has no inflection ability unless he's talking about pooping himself.
Did we talk about that on here? How he's talked about pooping himself?
I don't remember. I know we talked about it off stream, but Jesus Christ.
I know we talked about it with Undoomed, but I don't know if we were still on stream or not when we discussed it.
I don't remember, but the fact that, like, when you looked at the lady that he had with him on the show, I think it was Hannah Claire. She's just sitting there like, why are you telling me this story?
Yeah.
Like they're so repulsed. I know he told several stories about diarrhea and stuff like that. And the one, Melody Mack looked like she was ready to walk off the show. I mean, that $500 must be really worth it to be on that program because, dear God, I couldn't listen to the disgusting shit he was saying if I was on the stream with him. I'd be like, look, I got to tap out. You're gross. You're weird.
Asmund Gold isn't too bad. We also have to remember Asmund comes from the gaming community, the folks who yell for attention.
Yeah, Aspen's like weird facial tics and his way of talking. I think those actually give him a little bit of character, so it's not just boring or shouting and being like predictable. There's a certain like package deal with him.
Connect says Jeremy wants to be Tim Pool so bad. I will give Tim Pool credit on that. At least his show isn't boring. No, if you want to say his subjects are, that's fine, but his delivery and stuff isn't. I mean, he'll get heated and stuff. It's the only credit I will give Tim Pool.
Yeah, see, I can't even do that because I find that dude incredibly boring. But I also find Joe Rogan to be very sleep-inducing. So I'm an outlier, apparently, on these things.
I was watching a reaction video yesterday to the song Monsters by James Blunt. If you've never heard the song Monsters by James Blunt, and you go listen to it and you don't cry, you're dead inside, or you really hated your dad. But this woman, she said the only thing she knew about the song going into the reaction is that it made Joe Rogan and Jelly Roll both cry. And then she watched it, and let's just say there was snot involved by the end of it.
Ugh.
Yeah, she cried bad. She ugly cried, man. Gigi Evan, thank you. Tucker is aiming to be the leader of the Botard Brigade. He hasn't worn his bow tie in forever. His 5-part series on the 911 cover-up, September 11th cover-up, going so far as to bring on a guy who claims cold fusion is a thing, was the height of bad sourcing in it. I'm sorry, I didn't watch that. He had somebody on who believes cold fusion is real.
That's been a conspiracy theory since like the 90s when those two scientists claimed they invented cold fusion and it got buried by the government. That's not a new conspiracy theory.
It got buried by peer review.
No, the government did it. They stole his notes and they used their mind wiping machines. Shut up! Don't look too deep into anything.
Look, cold fusion is the dream. There's lots of people who want it, but the science just doesn't work out. Anyway.
It's unbelievable. His talent is, I mean, I have done that job. Not the Holocaust jokes, obviously, but I mean, I've sat in front of a camera and talked. He's really good at it.
I now have to question every opinion.
He sits there and rambles. I've seen his show. He just sort of babbles.
I now have to question every opinion that he gives.
He has not been canceled. He can't be canceled.
Right?
So
we looked at his numbers, dickhead. 5 million followers, according to you guys, and he gets less than 1,000 views on most of his stuff.
He doesn't need to be canceled. He will be ignored or mocked. Look at Richard Spencer. That dude wasn't necessarily canceled. People just started making fun of him, and he drifted away like a lot of these people do. You don't have to cancel somebody that's a complete fucking retard lolcow.
Connect, thank you again. Kino Casino, pearl clutches and over-exaggerates. I mean, it's their brand. I'm not a fan of the show because of Ashton mostly, but it's a little too bombastic for me. It's kind of like most game streams, but I mean, that's part of the shtick. Anyhow.
On Kino Casino, they admit that's what they do.
Yeah.
They're not hiding it. They say that they're over the top, and that's the point. They're just there to have fun with it. So I'm not gonna take that hold that against them for being pro clutchers, exaggerating. That's kind of their brand.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them doing it. It's just not for me. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's like Jerry
Kind of
Springer,
think-
you know.
Think of Fuentes in terms of like what place does he occupy in what does he say about our society?
Dude, he can't even get 1% of his audience to watch his Rumble stuff. By your own metrics. 1% of a million, 1% of a million is 10,000, Jack. They told me he had 5 million followers and he didn't break 7,000.
If you forced the bots to watch Nick Fuentes, we would probably make Skynet come online.
Probably.
Just saying.
Candace Owen gets more views? She does. She does. Although, I mean, there's been questions about her audience as well.
And I'm not making excuses for anybody else's views. I'm just saying as a factual matter, if this is the most popular person.
He's going to make me bring up Nick's channel and laugh at his numbers again. Jack, we have 24,000 subscribers on this channel, and we get between 1,500 and 2,000 views on each stream. And that is dangerously low for what you would consider good. But it's still around 8% of the audience. He's getting less than 0.3% of his audience watching his stuff. 0.3 for the most popular.
Nick gets Hotep views.
What is that? Like a tenth of a
Yeah,
percent?
well,
Go
we're
ahead.
way more entertaining than Fuentes too. We're funny. He's just sad and babbly.
Dude, we like I said, 24,000 subscribers, 2,000 views, 5 million subscribers, 6,000 views is his best, and that was one. We kick his ass on every other video that was on there.
That's sad. That's just because we're a small show, but if we're kicking his ass on numbers, dude, you need to up your game. You're not even trying. Although, you know, I want to thank everybody that subscribed to my channel recently because I was bleeding subs over there because I haven't done anything in a while. But thanks to all the people that came over and subbed.
Assassin says that's because no one knows when you're on, you goober. No.
We're a moving target.
The audio, no, the issue is actually that this channel was built with videos, and then I switched to live streaming, and live streaming is a different beast. So a lot of the people who are subscribed to this never. I'm sure there's people who don't know they're subscribed after 9 years still.
Shh! Don't tell
them. I'm not ashamed of my audience at all. I'm just pointing out that we do better numbers than this most popular streamer.
Yeah.
Tell me again that this isn't some kind of op.
Yeah, there's some publicity money being thrown around here. There's got to be.
Because people told me he's the big. Who told you that, Tucker? I need to know because I need to talk to them because they're retarded and can't do simple math. You don't even have to do math. You just got to be able to read. 5 million, only 700 watched.
Yeah, but oh no, you got to look at that big number, that big impressive number, because that's what matters. Because they're puffing him up. Tucker could say he didn't like the guy or whatever, but he's been advertising for him covertly this entire time. Oh, I don't like a few things he said, but look at his subscriber numbers. He's reaching people. He's not reaching anybody if he's got a smaller viewership than a channel like us, where, you know, I have one monetized channel that's just minuscule, and you have 24,000 subscribers. If we're doing better than him, something funny going on here.
Thank you, Alan, who says, we love you. I love you back. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I've
we
gone
have.
back now a month, and his best video had 12,000 views, I think I saw, for 5 million subscribers. Seriously, we were making fun of Boogie for that kind of number.
Yeah.
I guess Boogie is the second most popular streamer these days. Fuck. All right.
Among young men, young white men, then we need to like start thinking about why that is, and we need to reflect.
Because he's lying to them and telling them things and not being challenged by people like you, dickhead. Because you have morons like Candace Owens going out there and going, turns out Nick Fuentes was right. About what? Oh, everything. He's smart. Fucking hate you people.
On what we have collectively done to young men, which is destroy them, actually. And no one wants to say that because no one wants to take any responsibility at all for anything ever.
There are an assload of people saying that. It was a big talking point during the fucking election, you retard.
No, that's it. You
That-
shut up.
That wasn't even a fucking year ago.
Just stop noticing things.
Nobody's talking about how we're leaving young men behind. What? It was a massive story. The Democrats lost and like, what do we have to do to get young? Even Democrats were asking, what do we have to do to get young men?
Yeah, they
brought
hired
out
a fat chick to tell us.
You beat me to it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, nobody's saying this is the kind of nonsense that makes people think, oh, Nick is actually really popular. He's saying the things no one else will say except for everybody else. Asmongold has talked about this and actually has an audience.
Yeah.
Shoe on Head has talked about this and has a way bigger audience than Shoe on Head is so popular. Other channels make a living covering her videos.
Shh, don't tell her that we do that.
I wasn't talking about us because I skip a few of
Oh.
hers. I try to, but I have a little bit of integrity.
Oh, what's that like?
Shoo, make a video I can disagree with, god damn it. All right, anyway, where are we?
No one ever wants to repent. They all want to cast stones. They don't see the plank in their own eye. This is including me. It's just humans are like this. And they want to be like Nazi. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, great. But like, how did this happen?
Why are they listening to him?
That was so dismissive of, look, do I think he's a Nazi? No, because we don't really have Nazis in America. He is a Jew-hating white supremacist Mexican who isn't a conservative. He told you that. He's trying to destroy the America First movement that he has decided he has taken over and is the true messiah of. You could have brought up any of this shit. She wanted to have a baby at 30. I thought women couldn't have kids at 30. No. 30 is when they hit the wall, and it's when the blue gumballs start to become an issue. Until about 30, all the fresh gumballs are still at the bottom and they fall out first. But about 30, some of those ones on top have started to go a little bad, and they start to, when the gumballs fall, everything shifts just a little bit, and occasionally a blue one will slip down.
It'd be a lot easier if when they're menstruating, you could lean up against a woman's stomach and hear, "Ooh!" So you knew they were on a blue gumball. It's be like, all right,
Yeah,
we're going to skip this month.
Tyra, thank you. What is the whole Christmas set? I mean, even Megyn Kelly is dressed in red with the dead Christmas tree in the background. I don't know if they were necessarily going for a Christmas theme, but I see what you're saying.
I think that's supposed to be a fern. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're just going for a classical look. 40 is still possible.
Uh,
Technically, women can have babies right up until menopause, which means technically up until about 50.
yeah, but then you're talking about some seriously
You're
messed
gonna
up
have a
gumballs.
Nick Fuentes if you do it at that age.
If you're lucky, you're going to have a Nick
Yeah.
Fuentes. If you're not lucky, you're going to have a even more retarded little Nazi.
You're
Real
either
quick,
gonna get Fuentes or Berwick.
ew, yeah, maybe both. Can you imagine
Maybe
that?
both.
Ugh. Be like basket case. Thank you, Alan, who says we love you too. Thank you, Alan. I love the audience. You guys are hilarious. Oh yeah, Assassin pointed out that the heifer they hired said white men need to accept the blame for being white men. Yeah, not the
Well,
smartest person to hire.
she also said we're gonna figure out what men want, and we're going to ignore what they said they want, and we'll tell you what they really want.
Yeah, that's how
Look,
it works because men are just big old dummy dumbs. Remember?
I wasn't saying that the left was smart in their questioning how young men got left behind. I was just pointing out that even they had started doing it. For Tucker's nonsense of nobody does it. I'm fairly certain that Shu's first video on that is like 3 years old now. At least. But old Nick, right on the cutting edge.
Kind of.
Can I ask you, so
And part of the reason is because the Republican Party completely betrayed its voters by obsessing over Israel. That's just a fact. Like, what is this?
What? Okay. Sure. The Republicans obsessed over Israel. Look, I get it. People like Lindsey Graham are like, let's get into war, but they didn't actually do it. Whatever. This is the same shit in the first administration, the first Trump administration, where like he said he'd build a wall and it hasn't been done yet. I do think a lot of people who have voted for Trump and who are in the Republican Party right now do not actually understand how politics works and how government works. I saw somebody today tell me that they had been absolutely betrayed because of the Epstein files. And again, I just want to remind you guys, it's entirely possible. We've seen everything there is to see outside of the grand jury testimony, which we're never going to see.
Yeah, they're never going to release that. Also, anything they did have, they probably ran through a shredder, dropped in the ocean, or burned.
Yep. Look, I have been talking about, you and I have been talking about the Epstein files for the last the entire
Years,
time
dude,
we've been doing
years.
this show.
Yeah, probably.
It's a country of 9 million people. I'm not against Israel. I visited on vacation. I've always liked Jerusalem's my favorite city in the world. I'm not against Israel, but like, why is that the center of our conversation? It's 9 million people, no resources.
It was the center of the conversation because the left kept pushing that the Palestinians were so abused, that the Gazans were living in an open air prison suffering through a genocide. And people were responding to that, you asshole. In the grand scheme of things, I don't give a shit
plus
about
there's
Israel.
a massive amount of
Keep going.
No, it's strategically important in a way, but that's about it.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I don't care about Israel, but if we're going to talk about what's happening there, I'm going to be honest about what's happening there. And
No,
frankly,
a lot of it is because it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you keep going, man.
No, we got that lag, and it's pissing me off. I keep jumping on your point.
I'm not bothered by it. Keep going.
Oh, what is a lot of it is just the fact that people hate Jews, and they use that to foment like the Jews are behind everything because here's a whole country of them.
Yep.
They're all most of the people in Israel are Jewish. They ignore all the Arabs and Muslims that live there, and the Christians just they don't exist. But the Jewish state, that's the problem with it. They just have a problem with the fact that they're predominantly Jewish.
How far in the video have we got? We've gotten 49 minutes into it, but I think we started at 20 minutes. So like wait, how long was Megyn talking by herself?
You guys know how this works. Come on.
Okay, he comes out at about the 33-minute mark. We're at the 19-minute mark. 49-minute mark. So we're at about 16 minutes. That's all. Just saying.
The only strategic value Israel has is the extent to which we have to defend Israel. But take that out and there's no value at all. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, like, we're a country of 350 million people. We're the most important country in the world. And our politics is, and practically every member of Congress spends all day talking about Israel. And if you're a normal person.
No, they don't. You're just lying. You're doing what Fuentes does to foment hate against the Jews that you don't do that. It wasn't 5 minutes ago that you were. Well, at least he's not doing it for blood libel, I guess. Because that's the only time he has a problem with it, is if it's because of blood libel. I try to tell the truth on every venue I go to.
And you're like, I don't hate Israel. I certainly don't hate Jews. But what the hell is this?
But wait.
And then it's like, shut up, you can't talk.
That's your fucking imagination is what it is. God damn. What is this? Fantasyland, fucker.
Talk about it.
But wait,
why?
Clarify what you mean, because when you were winding up on, the Republican Party.
Go ahead, man.
No, this is getting tiresome. Like, he's ignoring a lot of important points and he's deflecting with all these kind of tired. I'm so tired of talking about Israel. I really don't give a fuck about these ancient blood tribal feuds that go back 1,000 years. I really don't give a fuck. But if you're going to keep inserting us in these things, yeah, we're going to end up in a fucking war over there that isn't our business and we don't care about, quite honestly. So they keep making Israel into this major pivotal place that it really doesn't need to be.
Well, what he's talking about with all the politicians talk about Israel all the time. He's talking about them going on to talk shows and being asked about what's going on in Israel, in the Gazan war there. And so they answer and they say, I can't believe they're talking about this. It's all they talk about. No, they talk about all kinds of other shit. You're making up this nonsense about that's all they care about. You're literally doing a Nick Fuentes right now.
It's not all they care about. They're asked about it and they respond about it. That maybe don't ask if you don't want them talking about it then. Because I really don't give a fuck about the Middle East. The only reason that we have any dealings with them is because they have oil. Otherwise, that whole place would be a backward shithole more than it is. They just are a rich backward shithole now. The Israelis have some tech companies, the startups that are moderately important, but that's the extent of the Middle East for you. They don't really innovate anything. They just cause problems for the rest of us because they're a bunch of 7th century tribals stuck in that, and for some reason we keep sticking our finger in that shit pile.
I want to cover something else before we end the show today. I just don't remember what it was. I hate when I do that. I can't take any more of this. I'll have to watch more of it offline. You're just lying. You're just lying.
Yeah, I don't know if he's lying to us or himself.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's start with this one. Guys, I'll throw the link in the chat if you want to watch the rest of that Megyn Kelly thing. Let me get that real fast before I close this. There's for Rumble. And over on the UE tubes. There you go. And good luck to y'all. All right. I wanted to show this picture because this was going around today. And people were like, this shows Trump wouldn't care about you if you were hurt. And it shows somebody.
Just shows bullshit.
It's a blatant lie is what it is.
Yeah.
in this instance, there was a man who passed out during a press conference that was going on. And this shows Trump just standing there doing nothing, which this is an AI picture. This is not what really happened. There's actually video of this, and he rushes right over to make sure the guy's okay.
Yeah, but what do you expect Trump to do? Is he going to do CPR on the dude? Like, get out of the way, guys. I'm Dr. Trump now. Like, you can tell this is fake because look at the way the light is hitting his face, but the light from the back is not matching those shadows. So somebody superimposed a different image of Trump. Whether it was Photoshop or AI, doesn't matter. It's a fake picture.
Yep.
Also, proportionately, his size looks wrong, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is total bullshit. Trump did get up to find out if the guy was okay because Trump is a human being. You don't have to like him, but it is true. He is a human being. We have no reptilian DNA on him. So, yeah, this is just disingenuous bullshit that the left is putting out to try and make him look bad. And once again, they're standing on a tragedy to try and make Trump look bad. This guy passing out should be the issue. Is he okay? That's the important thing.
This is what pisses me off about the left. There's plenty to criticize Trump about. There's tons that the left can have genuine disagreements with Trump and say they don't like that he did this or that. And instead they have to lie. And then I have to come on here and go, look, they're fucking lying again.
Yeah. Did you see the guy saying that RFK fled the scene?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, was he involved in it? Like, how do you flee the scene? Oh my God, somebody passed out. I got to run. What, did he have cocaine on him? Like, was he dealing to the dude? What, why would he flee? No, he went to get help, you dumb shits. What's he going to do anyway?
I'm tired of them lying. I'm so tired of lying. This is the kind of shit that, okay, so Nancy Pelosi announced she's not running for re-election, which she's done before.
Yeah.
Apparently she's made enough money now in Congress. And of course, all of the fucking usual suspects, Swalwell and what's googly-eyed dickhead's name? Schiff.
Schiff?
Yeah, they're all out there like, oh my God, that she was so good. She was the greatest. And I simply pointed out that she went into Congress and did what if you and I did, Jack, we'd go to prison for. Insider trading.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the nobility class are protected from consequence. But yeah, that withered old crone should have retired 40 years ago because she's an evil piece of shit. But I don't trust anything she says. She'll probably be like, oh, well, no, they need me back.
Well, I mentioned that she did that she's basically a fucking felon by normal metrics. And somebody said, oh, but I bet you're okay with Trump doing the same thing. And it was like, okay, you're going to need to be specific there.
Yeah.
And they said to me, he got an airplane.
What?
Yeah, he accepted an airplane. I was like, Air Force One? He doesn't get to keep that, you retard.
Yeah, that's government property. It's not gonna be like, it's now Trump Force One. I have civil asset forfeited it to myself. It's free. I'm taking it with me like when Hillary stole the China.
But this is the kind of shit that I have to deal with because these Democrats lie about Trump. He's getting this payoff from the Saudis. They're giving him a free plane, or whoever it was. Give him a free plane. It's not his plane. It's the presidential plane.
This kind of goes back to the Jew thing, too, because people will blindly believe anything negative they hear about someone they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
It's really pathetic. Oh, he got a free plane. How did you convince yourself of that? Oh, you kitty cat.
Yeah, sorry about the puppy. I closed that and can't find it at the moment. But there's I just closed this one. Wait, why did that close this? Huh. That's going to annoy me. I don't understand what just happened.
Monkey.
Put Miss Phoebe back up on the screen.
No,
I had a
Brand.
really
Brand said, sorry, go ahead.
no. Keep going, man.
Brand said, I'd flee the scene. I'd be of no use there. No, you're not fleeing the scene. You're leaving. There's a distinct difference. You're fleeing if you think you're in trouble for something. Like, did RFK have some human growth hormone on him? Like, why would he be running away? Unless you're going to get help, you don't flee the scene. You just leave.
In our gaming news segment tonight, they've announced Grand Theft Auto has been pushed back to the end of next year. And okay, I'm going to be dead before this game comes out. And I'm not even that excited to play this one because it looks kind of retarded. I like the mechanics and stuff of 5. I think it's probably the smoothest gameplay they've done yet.
Mm-hmm.
But because they had you switching through characters and stuff, it was a convoluted, stupid story. And now we're going to get a girl boss and her simp running behind her in a Bonnie and Clyde, with Clyde in lower cases. And yeah, the story's a Latino Bonnie and Clyde story from what we've seen so far.
Oh my
Can't
God.
wait. Can't wait. But yeah, it's just funny to me that Rockstar has done this. Rockstar was also in the news because they laid off like 30 people. And they did this overseas, and there's a little controversy going on right now because the group that they all laid off were pro-union people. And I say laid off, they just flat out fired them. And the union folks are like, this is union busting. And it seems like it might be, which, by the way, I don't have a problem with union busting. Fuck unions.
No.
But this overseas, you really, really need to be careful about union busting. But then you find out that these people were all part of a group off-site. They were not within Rockstar's control, having discussions about the game.
What?
Yeah. And Rockstar is very big on confidentiality before their games release. And so they say they fired him for breaching company policy.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So fuck those little douchebag union workers. Connect, thank you again. GTA 6 doesn't have original writers. What do you mean original writers?
Probably the writers from previous games.
Did 5? I don't pay much attention to the I'm more interested in the developers than the writers.
Well,
Unless
apparently George R.R. Martin's writing this one.
Unless the writers were the game makers. No. Is this the chick? Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's a dude. I keep forgetting. We're gonna finish on this one tonight because why not? All right.
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw this. I'm so glad you brought this up.
I wanted to end with something lighthearted because Tucker, he wore me out. That was some really stupid shit we watched.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Scarlett Kelly, and I am officially declaring war on the Republican Party.
Your name is Scarlett Kelly. Why did your parents hate you? You're a dude. You know that, right?
Come on. That's the trans name. Come on.
Yeah, this is Steve Kelly, and he changed it. I'm Scarlett, like O'Hara, because she was awesome.
Yeah, look, the name Scarlett can be very exotic and mysterious, but it's normally strippers and trans people.
Yeah. Tell me about it, Chloe.
Hello, my name is Scarlett Kelly, and I am officially declaring war on the Republican Party. If you are a Republican on TikTok and you want to interact with me, you deserve to die.
If you're a Republican on TikTok and you interact with me, you deserve to die.
Oh, the mere desire. You don't actually have to interact with them. The desire to interact with them is enough to warrant death. Maybe they've told this person one too many times that their eyebrows don't match their hair, and it's very stark and disturbing. So they're just a little fed up with that.
It is sad to see that the eagle from the Muppet Show has gone albino, but
Nice reference.
thank you. I keep hearing the both sides argument about violent extremism. And the examples for the Republicans are always January 6th.
Oh, God, yeah.
There are so many examples of lefties doing this. There was a Chris Cillizza piece, not Chris Cillizza, Harry Enton, his little protege. Where I take that back. That was a whole different thing. That professor who had the 4 conservatives come up to the front of the class and tell people about their experience on college campuses. Did you see that video?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. We never covered that.
It doesn't sound familiar. I may have missed that episode. I don't know.
I don't know if I know I didn't show the video, but I thought we'd talked about it. So we'll have to bring that up sometime. But for those of you who did see that same professor, there's another.
Is that him or me? It's 5 a.m., so it could be him. This is all right. Oh, it's him. Okay. They'll be back. Yes. Wait,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound distant, but I can hear you.
Oh, son of a bitch. It disconnected my microphone and now it's picking up the wrong one. Give me a second here.
Oh, it can hear you now.
Does it sound good now?
It's better. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason my mic disconnected. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, this professor is telling his class and some guests that he had on that 42.5, I think it was, percent of Democrats think Republicans want to kill them all. And 45% of Republicans think Democrats want to kill all of them. And then he tells us, actually, the number is only about 2% of people who think political violence is okay. I have no doubt that when people are being polled specifically, that they give the right answer because they're afraid somebody's keeping track of who said what.
Yeah.
I've seen way too many leftists who clearly think political violence is okay, specifically death. To believe only 2% of people think that political violence is okay. Anyway, back to manly girl here.
You deserve to be shot. You deserve whatever suffering could possibly come to you. If you are a Republican and try to start any of that kind of nonsense with me in person, you will lose your life.
This person needs to be in a care facility.
I desperately want to confront this person in person. Because you ain't going to do shit, you little pussy ass bitch. You ain't going to do shit. You are Tonka, the gay woman. I'm being nice calling him a woman.
Being redundant.
Yeah, you are a bitch. You're a bitch who comes to the internet and be like, I'll kill you if you say words to me in public. What? How fucking bitch do you have to be to come onto the internet and be like, if you talk to me wrong, I'll kill you? I'm your Huckleberry. That's just my game. Exactly. Oh, God. I wish I was younger and single and didn't have, like people depending on me, because folks like that, I would find them and be like, what? I wouldn't hurt them unless they, tried to hurt me, but just to watch them shiver and pee themselves, that would make me. I hate bullies, and he's trying to bully people. I don't accept that from people, and those are the kind of people that I always wanted to hurt, Jack.
This is
Yeah, it's
war. I am not
understandable. Like this person's making threats,
Mhm.
and somebody's gonna call you out on that. And look, maybe this person will stab a bitch. I don't know, but most of the time we've seen these people are they have overinflated self-esteem and a bizarre belief in their own capabilities.
Mhm.
It's really kind of surprising how many people are like this now.
All right, we're not going to find out the answer to this, but let's take our guesses here. How tall is this guy?
5'6".
I was going to say 5'6". Yes.
Yeah,
No
five
way
six,
he's
maybe 5'8".
in no way he's an inch over 5'6".
Probably
Any
has a
of
little
that?
bit of a gut and pop boobies.
Yeah. He didn't need estrogen for his titties, let's be honest.
Yeah.
At 5'6", everybody in the audience.
Look at those sunken eyes too. Like that's
Oh yeah.
Starting to
And
kind
it's
of give me
made
like meth head vibes.
made worse with those thick black eyebrows.
Yeah, he's clearly shaving the unibrow unevenly, by the way.
Yeah,
But
this one is way higher than that one.
yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, if you're gonna dye your hair like that kind of fake, obviously fake blondish orange, you gotta do your eyebrows too, or it looks too contrasting and it makes your pale skin even more noticeable. Like, have a little consistency. Find a chick that knows how to
Look,
do this sort of thing and let her fix you.
if you have jet black hair, as he clearly does by those eyebrows,
Yeah,
and you want to dye your hair a lighter color, you need to have it done professionally.
absolutely.
Otherwise, it looks like this when you try to go blonde, and then you have to name yourself Scarlet.
Yeah, and also that, like, you can see the mustache starting to come in. Like he's
Oh
probably
yeah,
got some like I don't know, Italian or something in his system. So you got to be real careful about your hair color choice. I
Mhm.
mean, that's just this is like makeup 101. I'm not even a chick and I understand this. You need to be more selective with what colors you're dyeing your hair because this like homemade peroxide job just ain't doing the job, bucko. You look silly
Mm.
and pasty.
kind of nonsense with me in person, you will lose your life. This is war. I am not joking. It's done. You
I have no doubt you're not joking. You're just not serious. You think you
Yeah.
are, but you're not.
are not an American anymore. You're out. You're off the list. You've been naughty. Like, come on. We're gonna start giving you the coal in the form of massive stones on top of a slab of wood on top of you.
That
How Muslim
smug
of
little
you.
grin. Yeah. It's what the best you could come up with is threatening to stone me or bury me under rocks. It's weird.
Oh, I do have to talk about this one meme I saw. It said, "Dear gay New Yorkers, I would avoid rooftop cocktail parties for a while."
Probably good advice, especially
It's
if you're
very-
Jewish and gay. Oh,
That is excellent advice. Today, we're teaching homosexuals how to fly.
it's very Muslim of them. Yes. Wow.
Damn, now I'm going to have to watch UHF again. Today, we're
Huh.
teaching turtles how to fly. Oh, man. Every time he says, "Oh, man," I fucking lose it. All right.
Such a great movie.
Poodles how to fly. Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Ladies and
It's-
gentlemen, we're going to
reminds me
wrap
that-
up. Oh, go ahead, Jack.
Oh, it reminds me of that WKRP in Cincinnati episode where they threw the turkeys out the window. They're like, I didn't know they couldn't fly.
Turkeys can fly.
Not from 40 stories up, they can't.
Not from 40 stories, but they can go up about easily 30 feet because that's about how high they are off the ground when they shit on my car.
They only fly for you, buddy.
Fucking hate turkeys.
I know.
Anyway, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us today. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are so kind. I was planning on doing a game stream, but then I realized it was Thursday and did watch the game instead. But tomorrow we're going to do a game stream. It is the 1 year anniversary of the release of Planet Coaster 2. So we're going to play some of that on stream. I never finished the campaign, so I still have plenty to do there, and we'll be doing that tomorrow on the game show. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to a video. It's fairly recent. I'm still trying to correct a lot of problems having with on a bunch of videos that turned out to be a bit more pervasive than I thought. So I will have some stuff up very soon. But thank you guys so much for the tips. You guys are awesome. And thanks for coming out and watching. Because we're like pirate radio, the old pirate broadcast radios. You just never know when we're going to pop up. And we appreciate you guys coming out and watching the show with us.
Oh, I forgot I was going to talk about that chick. I forget I follow Pearl sometimes, and she rarely says anything that I pay attention to, but she occasionally I see when she retweets stuff. And she retweeted a woman who said, "Women come on X and look down on men who pay for escorts and hookers, but have no husband or ring. Hypergamy and good night." I don't know why you have to be married to look down on guys who are banging whores. I guess the implication there is that if you're not giving it up to some guy you don't want to be sleeping with, then you can't judge him for paying for sex, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I think I can explain this. This is internet brain. Because before they're married, they have their own OnlyFans.
Here you go. There's the actual tweet. Yep. Women come to X and look down on men who pay for escorts and hookers. I look down on those people, Hassan.
Yeah, you're going to get an itch, man. That's terrible.
Bro, I got to see more of the clip because I watched Pegasus today. And I got to see more of the Hassan at Mamdani's thing.
Yeah.
Since when are Muslims allowed to drink?
He was just going to the bar to tell people how the wonders of Allah and to not drink or have bacon.
Schrodinger's Turk, as as Pegasus calls him.
Yeah, he's a Muslim when it suits him.
Yeah, when he can use it as a way to call people racist. Anyway, Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Oh, always glad to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Take care. Have yourselves a wonderful night. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Diabolical, right? I was watching him the other day, and he goes, I almost said it. And then he did it anyway. Like, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's diabolical what he's doing.
It really is.
And here's a song. Goodbye. Have a good night. I'll see you next time. Something.